All right. Well, we'll see how this goes on YouTube, but of course, playback is the main place. What's up, everyone? Lighting isn't good, but that's okay because I'm not going to stare into the light above my screen for the next 3 hours. So, what'd you make of that third quarter?
We got to see the Indiana offense at full speed. Some of the transition play was excellent for them, and of course, hitting some big threes.
Yeah, I really thought Joe Mazzulla should have come back with Jason Tatum when they went down 9, but they did manage to close the gap a little bit. There's Holiday trying to post up Halliburton, who's back in as well. And Halliburton has showed more fight here in the third. They haven't had as much success attacking him. He forced a turnover on Holiday in the post. That's actually the second one now. So there's Turner being guarded by Tatum. They're trying to keep Cornette out of the action through having him guard Mathurin. Good job by Tatum pulling the chair on Turner's drive. That really was not where they had the advantage. Cornette's open underneath. Good help by Halliburton, but that leaves Hauser open. And man, that guy's been on fire this game.
He has. That's 5 of 6 from three for Sam Hauser, and he's hit some big ones.
Now Halliburton's going to work with Turner. 10:55 remaining. Turner on the pick and pop. They don't switch that, interestingly. You'd think they would. That's the point of having Tatum on Miles Turner. But there's another point, is that Turner now has to guard Tatum and ISO. I think Turner can stay with them okay, and he does. He blocks it from behind with Neesmith coming over to contest. Neesmith, one of the higher contest rates among leagues or wings in the league, and he can't get that. What would have been a huge three, and Mark Davis says we're going the other way.
Yeah, it looked to me like Drew Holiday hit that one last, but I also don't think it's worth a challenge unless they get a really clear review. And it was Neesmith that had that block. I thought it was Miles Turner who had it.
Yeah, for those of you joining us on YouTube, you can give it a shot also, as there's a drive by White, which misses, and Halliburton can't control it. You can go just Google Nate Duncan playback. You'll find it. And especially if you have a VPN, you can just watch the game and our commentary all synced up. But wanted to do YouTube and Twitter as well, just to get some more people in the fold if that's your style. But I think playback is the best experience, particularly if you are willing to tell them that you don't live in the United States. There's White.
or you don't.
Yeah, that's a good point too. White on the drive, and Halliburton got the arm up, got White in the head, I believe, that time.
And as a note, since the watching this game along with us is a little bit more complicated than it often is on playback, we'll try to do a better job of timestamping stuff just to kind of make sure everybody's on pace, everybody can sync up. Because if you have we appreciate it if you're listening to us and watching somewhere else, but we'll try to make it as easy as we can. But can't do that during free throws.
So Derek White, he's had to take a lot of three-pointers in this game. He's been more aggressive and more successful from three this season, but he's gotten quite a few flaming packages. I would say 4 of his three-pointers have occurred in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock. But Boston, nice start here to the quarter with Tatum back in, Halliburton back in.
Yeah, that's
as well.
I believe that's 5-0 for Boston in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, one big change for the Pacers was that they started scoring at the basket. They were awful from 2 in the first half, 8 of 27. Good pressure by White. Now they're going to bring Mathurin that's Neesmith off the screen. Pitch back, Turner on the roll, sucks in the defense. Here's Mathurin, cannonballs in, and that's going to be a foul on Hauser. He turns the body sideways, and that's an auto trigger going back to the Roy Hibbert days. If you jump in the air, but you don't catch him with your chest, you turn sideways with the hip, that'll be called a foul.
The Celtics have gone to some less common guys in the rotation with the absence of Kristaps Porzingis. And, Delano Banton's had some nice drives. He doesn't have a made basket, but and has a couple of bad turnovers. But Banton's not on the floor right now. Hauser has had a big game, as we've mentioned. And for me, one of the big picture things, we'll talk about this inevitably on the pod, is the part of the fun of this in-season tournament is that we've seen more opponent-specific tactics, and that's why this has been more the full Tyrese Halliburton experience, where the Celtics have attacked him defensively in a way that most single-game regular season opponents do not.
Yeah, I think what they should be doing is Drew Holiday going at him off the dribble and in the post. I think he's been the most effective. Tatum has been solid there too. Tatum rejecting the screening action and goes, that's just not good enough from Jason Tatum. He thought he had him beat, but you didn't. He had a really difficult shot, and now it's Bruce Brown coming through. Great defense by Kornet. Kornet has been a force protecting the rim, mostly in the first half. But Tatum, they're setting up a double screen as Kornet rolls to the rim, barely gets his hands on it, goes for the hook and scores. That they're setting up a double screen with Halliburton as the last guy to get Halliburton on Tatum. He rejects it. He's just not that type of quickness. And so he ends up with a difficult shot. It was really good help defense. I think that was Neesmith coming over. They go under on Mathurin. He guns a three. That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin with them guarding him with Luke Kornet right now.
Mathurin 4 of 6 from 3 in this game, hit a couple of big ones in the first quarter.
Now they're going after Halliburton. Hauser on the pop. Can he get another three? Off the heel. Kornet couldn't keep it alive.
I am impressed by he didn't make that one by Hauser's footwork. That was a tough one to get back there and take. He's gotten a lot better there.
Here's that's Brown engaging Kornet. Backs it out, wants to take him one-on-one. Good deep post up by Turner and a hook shot. Excellent recognition there by Bruce Brown rather than try to take the contested jumper as Joe Mazzulla is going to get a timeout. Saw Miles Turner ducking in on Hauser and gets the nice shot in the lane.
Yeah, at first I thought that Brown was drawing Kornet out to drive himself, but instead it was to get the rim protector out so that your big man can actually take advantage of the advantage you have at the moment.
I'm going to grab a water real quickly. I was so concerned about the YouTube that I realized I don't have the requisite items.
I don't have the ability to pull the Pacers' offensive rating just in Halliburton's minutes in game for that, but their offense really, to me, has been singing during these minutes, so I've consistently been impressed by that there. I mean, the three-point shooting is a huge part of the story here. 15 of 33 for the Pacers, including some big numbers for Ben Mathurin, 4 of 6. Obi Toppin's 2 of 4 stands out to me. And then the Celtics below 30%, 10 of 35. Tatum, 2 of 7 on some pretty tough looks. White, 2 of 8. Holiday, 1 of 5. Jaylen Brown, 0 for 3. And they've also been missing Porzingis, of course. And Nate brought this up in the awards pod with Al Horford kind of not really being in the six-man conversation, that his three-point volume, his three-point success hasn't been what it was last year. This year, he's only taken 2 shots from the field in 23 minutes and has missed both of them.
Can I just share us out here?
Sure. And one of the key questions that I have for this one, and it's been a lingering thing, I've been fascinated with the Pacers all year, is who does Rick Carlisle close with? I mean, it seems clear to me that Halliburton, Turner, Brown will be out there, but Mathurin has been hitting his shots in this game. It hasn't been necessarily his greatest defensive performance. And then I think Neesmith has done a really good job. So do you go with Neesmith over Toppin? Do you do something a little bit different because of the positional size that the Celtics have 2 through 4? Kanata asks, Phoenix at Lakers is tomorrow, correct? Yeah, so this is both of the 2 versus 3 seed games of what is remaining. I'm presuming that is because they didn't want to put the high profile, to put the 1 seeds against Monday Night Football. But that does mean that the Lakers and the Bucks, who are the respective 1 seeds, will have a shorter calendar for the semifinals if they make it. I mean, whichever team advances out of that will.
Yeah, now, nobody played yesterday, in part so that none of these teams would ever have the possibility of being on a back-to-back. So those teams do get a little bit of an advantage with more rest before their game tomorrow, but then they'll have less, of course, after that. Let's see
Nate,
here.
just quick,
Yeah.
Are you sure you started the playback? I just see the start early button.
Oh. Maybe I didn't.
Aha.
Okay. Maybe that's why no one's watching. Yeah, viewers can now turn in. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
here we go. All right, well, I guess we were just doing YouTube. Were you getting comments from YouTube?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. Sorry I didn't start it. We also are doing a live cast as well on Twitter as a nice drive by Neesmith past Horford, Twitter and YouTube. But if you're watching on Twitter and YouTube, definitely playback is the best place to do that. Here's Horford on the drive, kicks out, and Turner helped off of White, but Horford's there for the offensive rebound. Halliburton has been much more active defensively in the second half. He was questionable coming in with an illness and a bruised knee. I thought he's been very low energy in the first, and as was, of course, this entire Indiana team.
And that's
But
really
they've come
important,
back.
even for a limited defensive player to show more resistance, make them work a little harder for the shots, even if they end up getting them.
White off the Tatum screen. They don't switch it, but they're going to get Halliburton for riding White. That's a little bit of a cheap call for me. I don't think he was. There was contact, but I don't think he was really. He's not strong enough to really affect him.
And really certain calls like that, it is more about like, are you gaining an advantage? Are you affecting things by the illicit contact?
Yeah, so this is what they do a lot. If someone that they think is a weak defender is guarding Derek White, they'll try to have him handle the ball. I don't think that's working as well, though. I would probably go back as Tatum hits the jumper on Neesmith. I would go because they're not getting that switch, and Tatum is not really a guy who's going to roll right to the basket for a bucket as Halliburton gets the switch of Horford. They move it, trying to post up. That's an awful pass by Neesmith. That needed to be to the corner of the backboard. It was way too low. Brown, Halliburton tries to attack his dribble. That leaves White open. He goes into Neesmith. Great patience there by Derek White. That time, the activity of Halliburton left Derek White open, although he appears to have banged a knee or something.
Yeah, it seems like there was some contact on that drive as the Pacers still hold a 94-91 lead. This isn't a time check, but 6:53 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll try to do those more often during this game because depending on where you are located, it's harder to watch along with us than it usually is on playback. The Celtics lineups, we could comment these Celtics lineups are suspect. Pritchard, Hauser, Cornette. Why? Because one of their 5 starters is unavailable, and so you have to rely more on other guys. I think that there's also a challenge, I think, from Missoula. This is something that you run into a fair amount in given years where actually running like an 8-man rotation is really difficult because you have to pull guys really early and you get in things. And so if you're used to running, let's say, a 9-player rotation, then you're not used to like pulling players out at the right time. You could say you could build it differently, but that's just oftentimes coaches try to kind of keep that in, and so that's led to Banton and Cornette playing more. I mean, Cornette, it's more because he's the backup now to Horford.
Yeah, I was saying this on Twitter earlier that if I'm the Pacers, I really want to have Miles Turner selling out at the rim to protect against some of these drives. And let's see if Al Horford can beat us from the outside. He just has not been shooting the 3 particularly well this year. He hasn't been getting open much in this game. He's only taken 2 shots in 24 minutes. He's not really capable of attacking off the dribble and hurting you inside the arc particularly well. So I don't want to let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday beat me at the rim, which is what's happened some in this game, although the Pacers have cleaned that up from the end of the first half.
To catch everybody up on the foul situation, thankfully no one has 5. Only player with 4 is Bruce Brown. He has 4 in his 29 minutes of action. I thought he was huge in the first quarter. So he has 4. Now you can get into foul trouble quickly, but it looks preliminarily like a game that is not going to be marred by that. Who is the best coach of the 4 tonight to run people through that? That is Carlisle, Missoula, Willie Green, and Mike Brown. I would say it's Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, you probably would have to at this point. I think all of them have their pluses and minuses. I'm not quite ready to put Mike Brown up there with Rick Carlisle yet. He would probably be my number 2, though. I've just been continually impressed. Other than his challenges, which are consistently awful, I've been continually impressed by Mike Brown, and challenges are a very, very small part of the job.
They are. And I think Mike Brown, like the kind of building a theory of the team around the personnel that he had and tailoring that in certain moments to the players who he has available. I think he's done a really good job there overall. And I would have Willie Green last of them, though there have been points where Green has done a good job.
So Celtics still favored in this live point spread, even though they're down 3 and Pacers have the ball. So
They're
it's Jaylen Brown now guarding.
I understand.
Jaylen Brown now guarding Halliburton. And they're going to get into their Spain pick and roll package. Mathurin, that's not a good shot. Neesmith kept it alive, but he went flying, and Holiday has it. Holiday on the drive. Tatum, ooh, man, that was an awful pass, and the Celtics are very lucky to recover it.
Well, and that continues the thread that we've been talking about, which is Jason Tatum giving up either his dribble or just taking a shot too early. Like, press the advantages you have, force the help, actually get your guys open.
Both he and Jaylen Brown try to pass with their shooting motion quite a bit. So this looks like Rick Carlisle's favorite group here to close it. 6:15, 14, 13 remaining. Tatum has the matchup against Halliburton. Shoots over him, late clock. They didn't get it out of it quickly. Another offensive rebound for the Celtics. That bounced right to Horford. Unlucky bounce. And that is a huge 3 by Jaylen Brown to tie it at 94.
Love how quickly Horford responded to that rebound that went right to him.
Horford with the late switch. Halliburton trying to go around him. Here's the drive by Neesmith. Off the glass. Aaron Neesmith in a revenge game. Recall, he was in that Malcolm Brogdon trade a couple of years ago. Hadn't gotten any traction in his career whatsoever with Boston. He was frankly a nervous player for them, and he's calmed down, and he's been really good. He's going to close this game. Horford forced left. Dunk barely. Wow.
Defies expectations with that drive and dunk, but there's so little help for the Pacers if Miles Turner is anywhere other than at the basket.
Yeah, Neesmith will do it a little bit. He'll drive again on Tatum. Had the man in the corner. Instead, he drops in the layup off the back rim. This is headed for a furious finish. Neesmith is guarding Jason Tatum. Brown off the screen. Turner calls out the late switch. No foul call. Jaylen Brown hits it in his face anyway.
And I like the no foul call there. I think that was the right course. 4:47, 4:46, 45.
Halliburton, they're going to try to set up their Spain pick and roll package here. Multiple screening actions. Halliburton on the step back off the right side of the rim. He hasn't been as much of a force here in the fourth as he was in the third. Horford swings it. They've got Tatum in the post against Neesmith. Where's the help going to come from here? Backing down. Neesmith stands him up. Great defense. Tatum has to go to the tough Dirk fade. Oh, and a terrible foul called. I don't know if it was a bad... It was a terrible decision to foul by Neesmith. I don't know if it was a bad call. Fans not happy. But generally, there's enough contact on a play like that if the referee's going to call it. Let's see. That maybe is high five contact, but he gets him on... There's no five part of it, though. He gets him on the forearm, and that does affect the follow-through. From what I could tell there, we didn't get the greatest angle of it.
The kind of the 90-degree angle from that would have been more telling, but that's pretty much the 90-degree angle. The one that we wanted is what the referee had, so I will give some deference there.
Yeah, so Neesmith just a little bit forward. You got to accept that you've done your job in that circumstance, as Tatum has struggled from the line tonight. 1 out of 2 there. Boston by 1. Halliburton looking to interact with Hield. Let's see if they deny Halliburton the ball back here. Neesmith looking to turn the corner. Goes into Holiday, and Holiday with the trip. What's the foul situation right now?
Nobody's in severe trouble. Bruce Brown has 4. That was Drew Holiday's first.
Yeah, and 2 team fouls on Boston, 3 on Indiana right now. 4:06, 4:05, handoff Halliburton, switched onto by Holiday. Don't love that process there to get them switch on. Halliburton didn't even have his feet set.
Woo!
What a shot! 1-on-1 against maybe the best guard defender in the league. No skipping for Halliburton now. He's locked in. They want to involve Turner at the elbow. Now White on the flare screen. Brown. Turner on the switch out. Brown stepping back off the side. I thought he could have continued his attack and maybe kicked out instead of backing up. Indiana has a 2-point lead. It's White guarding Halliburton. Bruce Brown, he'll just take it over Horford. Halliburton saw something there with Horford not guarding him.
I like that shot.
And Missoula gets to use it or lose it timeout.
Even though it didn't go in, I like that shot. You probably weren't going to get something better. You have a clean look. Horford's contest was late. Just take it. That was it.
Yeah, Halliburton, if you see the side angle of that, like his right foot was way in front of his left. He was completely off balance, and he still drained that huge shot.
And apparently this is Halliburton's first game on like full national TV, and it can be a showcase. The line that I've been using after I pulled some data on this for the last 15 and 60, at the moment, we're far, far from the end of the season. Halliburton could potentially end the year with the best shooting season by somebody that isn't Stephen Curry in the history of the NBA. Like that's when you consider degree of difficulty and volume and success, he is doing something that nobody else has done other than one guy.
Yeah, and this his first triple-double as well in his first national TV game. And, yeah, I mean, it looks like this is going to be the closing group for both teams. Would this be the one that you would go for if you were Rick Carlisle? I think it's pretty obvious who Joe Mazzulla should be going with here.
Yes, it is who I would be going with. There have been times that Obi Toppin has been good in this game, but Nesmith, I think, has done a better job on Jason Tatum, and so that is the matchup I would be going with.
Yeah, one thing to just keep an eye on here is where the matchups are of each team's center. Where are they putting Horford? They want to try to keep him out of the action. They're trying to keep Turner in help position as well, but not a lot of hiding places on either team. Let's see what Missoula's got out of the timeout here. Oh, Halliburton blew that one. He thought he had help behind him. He didn't. That's a couple of times he's switched and they've gotten a dunk. So nice little call there by Joe Mazzulla and good read by Jaylen Brown on the cut. Nesmith handing off to it. This is Heald. Lefty floater over Derek White. Wow.
Impressive finish by Heald. Celtics pushing it back up 245, 44, 43.
Yeah, White looks like he might be struggling a little bit with that knee that he banged earlier. He also suffered an ankle tweak. Here's White on the drive into Halliburton. Got Turner in the air, and Turner collars Tatum. Tatum wants a review because he did get hit around the neck a bit. I don't think this will be a flagrant or even necessarily a review.
I don't know that it'll be reviewed, but here's my thing. I think if it is reviewed, it will be called a flagrant because it was a non-basketball play around the neck. I think if he can succeed with getting them to look at it, that they'll mark it that way.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, he's in the air. No, I didn't even really get him.
It's more his chest. Seeing that second angle, I think it's good that they didn't review it, and it's the correct call.
Yeah, Tatum is 3 of 6 from the foul line. Make it 4 of 7. Ties it at 103. 2:33 remaining in our first ever in-season tournament quarterfinal. Ooh, that was almost backcourt.
Yeah.
Here's Nesmith just driving in, and lucky will the Pacers be to recover that. I would like to see it in Halliburton's hands a little bit more. I know they want to get this dribble pitch action, but I don't think Aaron Nesmith attacking Jaylen Brown one-on-one is what you're looking for here. Halliburton gets it in. That's better. And that is Nesmith with the finish. Too small, he says, Derek White. And White has something to say back to him. Derek White, a great rim-protecting guard. But Indiana up 2. Great pass in the inbounds by Halliburton. Same play they just ran, but they've kept Halliburton out of the action this time. I would look to Drew Holiday here. He hasn't gotten a touch in a while. Instead, it's Tatum going to go one-on-one here against Nesmith. Shoots over him, and he ties it at 105. Ugly possession, but he's got the size advantage on Nesmith, his former teammate. I'm sure they had plenty of practice battles. They start off with that pitch again just to get a switch of Haliburton on Horford. I would just get out of his way here. Haliburton working Horford. They got guys at the elbows. Haliburton gets past him, and a foul called. Horford grabbed him as he went by. This will be on the floor.
It'll be on the floor, but it is Boston's first foul in the last 2 minutes, so Indy will be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, and the point has been made that this is the first playoff type of game in Indiana since 2019. They were in the bubble in 2020, haven't made the playoffs since then. They had a home play-in game, but that was a 9-10. Haliburton, now against Horford again. Now Hield is going to slip out of this. See, I don't like that decision at all. It doesn't matter. Haliburton with another three. And did he get fouled too?
I thought he got fouled, and they did call it on Jaylen Brown. So this is a chance for a 4-point play with 93 seconds left.
You know, that was really fascinating. Hield bringing Jaylen Brown, the superior defender, into the action. You would think Haliburton would want to just go at Al Horford, but he's able to just take advantage of the confusion. What a shot that is by Haliburton. Let's see the foul. Yeah, he's kind of in his landing space a little bit. That's the second time Haliburton, who's a great free throw shooter, and makes that. What a huge 4-point play to put him up 2 possessions under 2 minutes to go.
And now the
Holiday
challenge is
going
on
to try to go
Boston's
after
offense.
him. Pick and roll. Tries to split through. Good switch. Haliburton's on Tatum. Where's he going to send him for help? Tatum goes for the 3 over Haliburton. Can't get it. That was a good attempt, though. Down 4. It was a good look. He couldn't get it. Do the Pacers push here? Buddy Hield into the lane off the Haliburton pass. They'll run some clock. I think that's the right decision up 2 possessions.
But I like them trying, giving themselves an option in transition. If they'd gotten a layup, they would have taken it.
Haliburton crossing over. Keeps his dribble. Kicks out. Stolen. Drew Holiday, but it's on the end line. 5 to shoot.
That was an ambitious pass by Tyrese Haliburton because Drew Holiday is the guy on the other end of it. Most guys wouldn't necessarily turn quickly enough, but Drew Holiday couldn't corral it. So they get a chance. And also another benefit for the Pacers here, at least you get a shot up, and that slows things down a little bit.
Elevator doors, then they try to slip to the rim out of it. They barely get it in. Hield is open for 3, and that is going to probably ice it. A second baseline out of bounds bucket late in the clock for Indiana. Here is White. That's stolen, and we're done. Indiana is going to Vegas, folks. Nesmith dunk.
And I'm sure
and Boston is going home. 9 points in 3 possessions by Indiana after it was tied at 105. What a run.
And as somebody pointed out in the comments, again, a big run by a team with Joe Mazzulla not taking a timeout. So
I completely understand that though, because you don't want to waste your time out at this point in the game. I mean, and like there was a free throw that was taken. Like, what are you going to talk about at a timeout when he's taken a free throw? And
you also like the times to take timeouts to stop momentum. That's before the last 2 minutes. Like that's
because you need if you're trying to make a comeback,
reasons.
you need those 2 timeouts in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Exactly. But you know, if it's 8 minutes left or when Haliburton was going wild in the third quarter, I think that it can be a fair criticism. In this circumstance, less so.
Do we think the players care about the in-season tournament? Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen any indication that they don't. Pacers showing they can defend a bit, maybe. This has been pretty decent. Now the Celtics not having Kristaps Porzingis, who's probably their second best offensive player, doesn't help much. But I do think that Boston, again, just hasn't had a great offensive process. They got one decent shot through Tatum. There's Braun. He'll gun a 3. They needed a 3 desperately. Missed. Pacers have it. Hield will bring it up. It's loose. Tatum has it again now. He's going to try Hield, and he lays it in. He wanted a foul, didn't get it. Still a 7-point game. They bring it across. And a foul as Nesmith is pushed in the back. The Celtics' real problem is their lack of tournament experience. That's it. It's a concern. Big concern. Celtics clutch time. Where is? Yeah, I'll let you take that one, Danny, since you've been all over it. so far.
And I mean, we're now in Boston's third coach where this has largely been an issue, and at least two of those three are highly regarded. Brad Stevens, Ime Udoka, Joe Mazzulla is still burnishing his reputation as we speak. But I mean, it is a lingering issue, and the idea that they could bring in like that kind of point guard, sure, that is a reasonable thing that Boston could do, but they have the most talented starting five in basketball, though they didn't have it tonight with Kristaps Porzingis out. Horford's plenty good. And I mean, part of it is just, well, how is that offense going to flow? And I think we're getting a little bit of a sample of that with the Bucks, of just how Tatum and Brown would respond, or even with the Clippers, how Tatum and Brown would respond, how their games would shift with that kind of player should Boston ever use those resources. Like, it would make their games fundamentally different. I can't say for sure that it would make it better.
Playback needs to allow DirecTV subscribers. They do. The problem is that, well, you have to have League Pass for a lot of these games, but the national games, they don't have an agreement with them the way they do with the NBA. So for League Pass games, it works. But also for anything international, if you have League Pass and you just say that you're international via a VPN, then you can potentially get the in-window. Stream quality is really good today, actually, too. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's been nice.
With only one game. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Generally, if you want to subscribe on Playback, get playback.com/Nate Duncan NBA. If you want to give us a subscribe on YouTube, that would be fantastic as well. Part of why we're doing this is trying to build up the YouTube channel with the demise of Twitter and a number of facets. We're trying to have some other options as Tatum goes in for the easy dunk. Back to 6, as Nesmith had only made 1 out of 2. Looking to get it in, and they do. Hield will push it up. They don't want to foul him, but they have to, and Hield is an extremely reliable free throw shooter.
And a nice job there by the rest of the Pacers, not really getting close enough to Hield to bring a second defender in. And so Jaylen Brown pretty much had to make that decision, otherwise they could have run even more time off the clock.
Yes, we do have a YouTube. Just Google Nate Duncan YouTube. You'll find it. It's probably the easiest way. Or M. Harris, just put it in the comments on Playback. We appreciate that.
Nate, do you want to do a little preview, or we can wait until this one is done, a preview of the nightcap?
Yeah, I might want to just actually take a little break.
Sure.
If we're going to have another 2.5 hours of live action. Tatum loses it against Nesmith. I think this is going to be a kick ball. And it is. Yeah, Nesmith's been really good. Great revenge game by him. But, of course, the big story is Tyrese Haliburton. 10 of 18 from the field. 5 of 11 from 3. 13 assists, 26 points. We should talk about just what he did in the second half. He's played 40 minutes as well. Brown, he'll gun it over Brown, and he hits it. Back to 4. Boston still has a timeout remaining. If they could get a turnover here, maybe it could get interesting. Pacers have 2 timeouts. They get it in, though. And Brown fouls Brown. So they got to hope for 1 out of 2 here. They're still barely breathing. Since this is a single elimination game, we'll stay here. I would have given it up when it was 9 under a minute to go. But with this, the first ever berth in Las Vegas on the line, we had to stay here.
Yeah, the Indiana Pacers about to be the first 5-win NBA Cup team in the history of the NBA, if they can pull this out.
Yeah, and I think having home court advantage was huge tonight. For them to go 4-0 and wrap this up, Celtics did win their group at 3-1. Plus 29 point differential rather than plus 22 for the Orlando Magic, despite the fact the Orlando Magic beat them. It was a 3-way tie, including the Brooklyn Nets as well. Brown, 1 out of 2. They throw it ahead. Tatum, and he's lost it. Recovered by Hield, and we can say brief pause here until the next game comes on. So I hope we'll just leave this on here. You can get a few questions in before that game, but a couple minutes before tip off, as far as we can tell, is when we'll come on. And Tyrese Halliburton, great to see him in Vegas. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there 3 days from today. All right, we'll be back momentarily here. I'll put up a little message for us. All right, Danny, you back?
I am.
All right, I think we're good on YouTube as well.
And one of the really fascinating developments of this game, we're going to get started pretty quickly, is the Pelicans having maybe actually their full complement of players. We get CJ McCollum in the starting lineup. He has returned from that collapsed lung. Trey Murphy is available. Oh yeah, well Larry Nance is not. So, but who Willie Green plays and in what combinations could be a big part of this game. But the big question that I have is, how are Sacramento's forwards going to fare defending the Pelicans forwards?
Yeah, it was Harrison Barnes normally guarding Zion Williamson in those two games that took place in New Orleans a bit ago. Sabonis at the elbow, looking to bring Barnes off a screen against Zion, who defended him well. Instead, it's Herter against McCollum, and he opens the scoring for Sacramento. Sacramento is going to have a ton of three-point shots available in this game, and they're going to make them. That is, of course, your biggest variable. Keegan Murray also is available to guard Brandon Ingram. They try to bring Ingram off a screen. Keegan Murray, physical, gets through it. They help off of Zion as well. Kick out McCollum. That's an overhelp there, perhaps, from Fox, you would say, but he caused Zion to give it up, and they missed the corner three. Backdoor! Beautiful, as Zion was late in help defense, and I think that was Ingram who got beaten. Murray doing a good job getting into Ingram again. They gap off of McCollum. He can't make him pay. Now Valanciunas looking to post up, and it'll be Zion on the right side. Double team comes. Kick out. Wide open Herb Jones off the pass fake. Valanciunas beating Sabonis to the rebound. Sacramento already up 5-0. Zion with his first attack goes into the lane. I thought he got fouled by Herter there, but he rims it in somehow off the glass.
And you'll see the Pelicans start Zion on the right side of the floor a lot, so we can do that.
Oh!
What a pass!
What a pass! Herter didn't even know that pass was coming. Now they throw it back to Herb Jones, and the Pels running after a make Sacramento style. And this another game that could be just as up and down as we saw in the first one. Murray passes it up. Now he ducks behind the screen for the three.
That was both a good screen from Domantas Sabonis and awkward screen navigation by Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram very bad at getting through screens off the ball. I think they're going to look to exploit that through Murray. Here's Barnes. Good verticality. Sabonis there to clean up the loose ball. Sabonis looking to push up. He'll try to hand off here. Fox sets the flare screen. Now he pops out. He'll take the three over Herb Jones. Fox didn't have the touch from three in the game we did a couple of weeks ago in New Orleans. Now Zion left to fire by Barnes. Zion is actually shooting about 50% from downtown on very low volume so far this season.
Sabonis pushing up 9-28, 27-26 for those who need to see.
There's Murray again, and he's beaten Ingram 3 times now, and Willie Green needs to talk about it. He got him on the back door, and then coming off of 2 screens, Keegan Murray being featured early at the expense of Brandon Ingram.
Something I really love tactically from Mike Brown here is that there really aren't that many places to put Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson defensively. We talked, because it was such a big focus of the other game we broadcast of Kings Pelicans, on the Kings defending the Pels. Well, Brandon Ingram's going to have to guard someone. Harrison Barnes, theoretically, one of them could take. You're not going to put him on Herter. You're not going to put him on Fox. So it's Keegan Murray. Love that tactically from Mike Brown.
Yeah, Pels travel, not amazing right now. They had to play a back-to-back, which Zion actually played in Chicago, but they lost on Saturday, and now on the West Coast about 48 hours after that game ended.
But the good news is that if they win this one, they won't have to travel very far from Sacramento to Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I actually, there's a lot of talk that, I mean, you think about it, actually, Suns, Lakers, Kings fans usually show up in Vegas for Summer League pretty well. those three teams could have a pretty good contingent in Las Vegas over the weekend. Now only
Right,
two of them
they could do
can
it
be
on a
there,
more
but
kind of like discretionary, on a more opportunistic basis than a lot of other fan
yeah.
bases could. And something else that will be a definitive factor in this game, De'Aaron Fox in particular is going to get 3-point opportunities. We know that with the way that New Orleans plays. They try to take away other things, specifically shots around the basket, and sacrifice threes to do it. And on-ball players have that opportunity. So will Fox make more of them than the struggles that he had? He did better in the second game of that set because we broadcast the first one, but it is a big variable for them, though. If they're getting those passes in the backdoor cut, that assist that I believe that was Fox to Herter was incredible.
That was such a good backdoor pass. Usually I kind of get on the player guarding the guy who goes backdoor or the help for not being there, depending on what the scheme is. And that was, Herter was just jogging the other side of the floor to set up the play. That was an incredible pass. Vegas flu might be worse than Miami flu for teams, but the thing is, they're both there visiting Vegas, so it affects each team equally in theory. But I think with the 500K
you could argue
on the
that
line,
the team that has the extra off day, but we'll see. It is midweek,
so Sacramento up 9 already. I think the Pels have only gotten one stop. Murray has been pretty good on Ingram defensively as well, pressuring him up. He barely gets... Oh, that's a backcourt violation. Maybe he never established in the front court. Here's Ingram kicking out wide open Herb Jones. They needed that one. The scheme is clearly Sacramento, with how many times these teams have played and Mike Brown's coaching, they're clearly going to be extremely locked in on packing the paint, particularly early. Pels got to hit some threes and knock him out of that. Good denial by Jones on Fox. Blind Pig wasn't ready. Oh, Sabonis blows by for the dunk. Valanciunas wasn't ready for that one. He was looking to deal with the handoff action, and Sabonis got him. Here's the back down, kick out. Pass was low for Ingram, but there's Jones again. His third three-point attempt already. He's 1 out of 3. Barnes, they go under on him. He'll take the 3 off the dribble, and the Kings are on fire right now.
And something to note, Herb Jones is probably going to take the Dyson Daniels role in this one. In the game we broadcast, the Kings just aggressively helped off of him and forced Daniels to take shots, and eventually Willie Green had to take him out of the game. That's going to be a non-shooting foul on Sabonis.
Yeah, you might be thinking of the Jazz game, actually.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking
I
of
thought that
the
the Kings actually weren't aggressive enough with that.
You're right.
But
I'm conflating. We did 2 straight Pelicans broadcasts.
But I think the Kings will gladly take themselves in a 3-point shooting contest against Herb Jones. And that's good defense by Murray. He's still there. Ingram's getting nowhere. And I guess that's going to be a foul on Murray. Didn't see much contact. Ingram really likes to use the size advantage more. Did you see that? Mike Brown looked to the bench. He said, "Hey, should I challenge?" And the guy said, No. Yeah, you don't want to challenge that one. It's a non-shooting foul, guys. Here's Ingram again. That time he got a little more separation. But look where De'Aaron Fox is right now. That's off of C.J. McCollum. McCollum on the drive. Sabonis with the contest. But it's kept alive by Valanciunas. McCollum's 3 is good. So 2 3-pointers now for the Pels. But that is remarkable how far De'Aaron Fox is off of C.J. McCollum right now. McCollum did not play in those 2 games. Here's Zion helping off of Harrison Barnes in the corner, and Sabonis made the wrong pass. Now Sabonis on the attack. Finds Murray underneath, but it's taken away from behind Zion. Now ahead to Herb Jones, but he can't control it.
Yeah, you could say it was the right idea because Herb Jones was ahead of him in transition, but you can't catch a pass easily when you're running. That's around your feet. Kings pushing the ball up. 7:30, 29, 28 remaining.
Yeah, so in the comments on playback, not sure if the VPN thing's not working anymore. Maybe because it is it's the only game that's on right now. I don't know. Barnes, now Sabonis, going at Valanciunas. Kicks out to Barnes. Barnes stepping back. Tough footwork there. Zion has been reasonably active defensively early here. Ingram has Herb Jones open. Gets it to him too late. They'll try Murray again. Murray staying in front of him nicely. Now it's McCollum. Late switch. McCollum over Murray. That was good communication by the Kings. Now they're in transition. Sabonis running the floor. That's the right pass. Beautiful pass. As Valanciunas got dusted by Sabonis in transition, and Fox has had a couple of dimes.
When the offensive center beats the defensive center in transition, it's going to be an easy bucket.
Ingram. Oh, that's the second on Murray.
He's been so big in this early going. So two. Wait, are they not giving that to? Are they calling that on Sabonis? And
yeah,
if they are,
that's
his,
yeah.
And if they are, that's his second. Ooh, that's a different.
What was Sabonis's first? Can't remember. Ingram missing the first free throw. Kings should sign Chris Murray and just swap them when one gets in foul trouble. The only trouble there is one of them shoots left-handed and one of them shoots right-handed. So Trey Lyles will come in here. Interested to see whether did they take out Zion? Yeah, they did take out Zion. Ingram remains in the game. I assume it's going to default to Harrison Barnes now, who doesn't play a ton of three for this team to guard Ingram. But Barnes not nearly as good at getting through screens as Keegan Murray.
So apparently Sabonis fouled Valanciunas. It was a non-shooting foul with 8:17 left. That's what the box score is.
Okay, I barely remember that. Sabonis working pretty good position at the elbow. Little Spanulis DHO here for Herter. He fades away over McCollum. Pels looking to get it up quickly after makes themselves. It is now Barnes on Ingram. You see how Ingram is able to get a lot more separation. But Fox, again, man, he is gapping way off of McCollum. Ingram mid-ranger left it short. Again, the way the Sacramento is playing offense right now, these mid-rangers aren't going to cut it for the Pels. They got to get more at the basket. They really haven't. Barnes lost it, trying to keep it alive. He can't. Najee Marshall with the defense. Najee Marshall going in on Lyles, and he's fouled.
The Kings really did miss Trey Lyles early in the season. He's had some big moments, including in that win they had over the Warriors to put them not only into the quarterfinals, but winning that game versus losing it close gave Sacramento home court in this rather than it occurring at Smoothie King.
Marshall makes the first. Danny, what do the shot charts look like right now? I have a feeling it's going to really favor the Kings.
I will pull them up right now.
Marshall hits a couple. Fox still guarded by Herb Jones. Fox operating mostly as a passer here early. They've been getting it to Sabonis with pretty good position. Backdoor Lyles. Good help from Marshall. And I think we're going to get a foul on Herb Jones coming over the back.
To go briefly into the shot charts, Sacramento, 4 attempts in the restricted area, 0 upper paint, only 1 mid-ranger. And by the way, they made 5 of 5 inside the arc. Then they've made 4 of 6 3-pointers. The Pels, 2 of 3 restricted area, no upper paint, 0 for 2 mid-rangers, 1 for 3, most of those Herb Jones from the corner, 1 for 3 above the break.
Yeah, so it hasn't been as many mid-rangers as I thought maybe it's been. But I think the biggest thing for Sacramento, in addition to hitting their threes, is they've gotten 3 layup passes so far.
Yes.
2 by Fox and 1 by Sabonis. Lyles, it was actually Najee Marshall who fouled him down low, and he hits that free throw. Now 24-13 Sacramento. So it's Ingram time, playing with McCollum. Zion is out of the game. They haven't gone to Trey Murphy yet, interestingly. Najee Marshall off the bench first. That was a foul on Herter. They didn't call it. And now they've got more transition. 3-on-1. Look out.
Malik Monk beat everyone down the floor. CJ was standing there, but not really ready to defend that kind of pass.
So Keon Ellis, number 23, on a two-way, as that will be the second on Sabonis, I believe. And not a smart foul by him, already having 1. Or no, does he already have 2? So is that a third on him?
I think they
Or was
called. I think they called that on Trey Lyles. That looked like it was on
Yeah.
Sabonis to me.
Okay. I guess I'm just not seeing these very well, but
Or maybe you
Valanciunas,
are and they aren't. Well, we didn't get the greatest angle on that.
no. Valanciunas, a reliable free throw shooter, makes the first.
And one of
Jose
the
Alvarado in.
And Nate, one of the key questions, we kind of danced around this point already, is that when Sacramento's offense is working, one of the fundamental problems for the Pelicans is they don't generate a ton of threes for good 3-point shooters. And so if you're having to put up like a 120, a 130 offensive rating, for the Pelicans, the way to do that is probably through the free throw line. It's hard to do. Like, they're not that kind of team.
Well, fast free throw line, fast break, and assaulting the basket. Here's full court pressure. Keon Ellis, I mentioned him. He's actually supplanted Davion Mitchell and Colby Jones in the rotation. Here's Monk. He's just going to fire. Okay.
That was deep. Listed at
Malik Monk.
I think that was listed at 28 feet.
Now it's
Those
Monk
are always
guarding
a little
Ingram.
bit
Ingram
weird.
should be able to attack him here. We've got Sasha's Vazenkov in as well at backup forward. And we're going to get another reach-in. Lot of reach-ins here by the Kings. Yeah, Monk just fires that three over the Pels zone after the free throws. At Sacramento, dominating start. 29 points in just over 7 minutes. Interested to watch the minutes. This is a relatively short rest, it looks like, for Fox. And JaVale McGee will come in and replace Domantas Sabonis. Alex Len, it looked like he was going to maybe supplant JaVale McGee in the rotation, and then he suffered I think a high ankle sprain.
It was a high ankle
low
sprain.
or high, but I think it's high.
I believe I saw high. I can take a look.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't think high unless.
No, I thought I saw
the
it.
most. Yeah, no, I thought I saw it too. The most common is low, so you would. I don't know why I would have just made up high ankle sprain unless I actually saw it. Ingram gets the free throw, so it's Fox and Monk. Keegan Murray has returned as well. He's up front with Vazenkov and McGee. Cody Zeller in for the Pels. Here's Monk. Not very good going left. He'll fire the three, though. That he can do going left. He can't turn the corner and attack. But he definitely can hit the three. And Sacramento, what are they shooting from three now? This is a ridiculous performance here early.
6 of 10.
That's pretty good. Murphy on the attack. There's Fox gapping again. He's been extremely aggressive with that nail help. I think that's been the Pels unable to make the Kings pay for that. They need to recognize that pass is there and just put your best shooter there and let him shoot it. You just can activate the help of the nail like that. Here's Monk firing, going left again. Tipped out. McGee goes right to Marshall. He's going to try to attack and transition against Murray. Murray tried to draw the charge. It went loose. Knocked away, I think, from behind by either Monk or Fox. Here's Fox. He's on the move. He'll fire the three over the head of Vazenkov, and it'll go back to New Orleans.
Alex Len, high right ankle sprain, 6 to 8 weeks out, and that was 2 weeks ago. So he's out at least another month.
Ingram against Murray again here. They try to get him the ball. Murray gets through that screen nicely. Ingram trying to back down. Tough fade away, and he makes it. But again, that's a shot that Sacramento will live with if you give that shot up without fouling. Zion getting a long rest here. Now he's headed to the scorer's table. Fox going right. Knocked away from behind. I think Alvarado got him. 3-on-1 again for the Pels. Left for Murphy, and he'll dunk it down easily. Timeout, Mike Brown.
Like that patience, Najee Marshall looking behind him, seeing a trailing Trey Murphy, easy dunk there. That's better than trying a contested layup yourself. 32-21 Sacramento with 3:08, I believe, remaining in the first quarter.
And the Sacramento has made some shots in this stint without Sabonis, but I think it was telling that they ran basically everything through him. And he was getting very easy position, like right at the free throw line, which makes those passing angles on the back doors and the handoffs easier. But Fox really struggled to get to the basket in those games in New Orleans, particularly the first one. And that's because New Orleans is an extremely aggressive nail help team. And so there are not amazing driving lanes out of the pick and roll. For De'Aaron Fox, he tried to split through a gap that wasn't there, turns it over. And that's another way that the Pels can be really effective, because they're a really good running team.
From John, if good playoff players or 16-game players are in-season tournament guys, 3-game players. Yes. I mean,
hey, it's a new experience for all of us.
Single elimination is a fascinating format to deal with for players like this good. And I like the idea. One of my favorite things about the NBA Cup is that it kind of, I think it can fill a nice gap where it matters, but it's also, everybody knows it's not the championship. So, like, I mean, I think that this will be something that is considered for accomplishments for a franchise, that is considered for a player's, like the low end of their legacy. Like, if Tyrese Halliburton leads the Pacers to this, to the win in the overall cup. And I do think that there are players who are better and worse in a single game elimination format. I was thinking about that old David Locke thing about Anthony Davis and how he's one of the least consistent offensive stars in the league. That's actually bad in this format.
Yeah. And I think, someone like LeBron, where this isn't a 2-month long playoff run. And I do think LeBron, he probably has maybe the highest delta at this point of like what he's capable of at his absolute maximum effort and kind of what he's able to give on a night-to-night basis. He clearly has been emphasizing this a ton. And so I think he will, can he just bring it for a week? Absolutely, right? And then he can kind of throttle back a little bit. As the NBA said, whether the championship game counts for end-of-season awards, no, not that I have seen. I mean, it is only one game of 83, but I mean, it is the in-season tournament. It is part of the season. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And I also don't know whether it counts in terms of eligibility, because we've talked about how the league has the new requirements if you have to play in 65 games. Do these players get the benefit of a little extra buffer? That could matter.
If Devin Booker makes it to the in-season tournament final and then he gets 64 games played, and that would be hilarious. All right, so we're going to get some Zion minutes now. I imagine Ingram will be out of the game. And Sacramento, with a bit more of their bench group, they've got McGee out there. Barnes is back. I think that's the guy that they want guarding Zion. Monk being guarded by Murphy. Here's Fox, pick and roll with McGee. And was that tipped away from behind again? Did Alvarado get him twice in a row? Now Zion looking to post up against Murray. Different type of defender, but they got good help on Zion. It's knocked away. Here's Fox. He lost it underneath, and he can't finish. Barnes is there, though, for the rebound. Zion, a poor defensive rebounder, wasn't in position. Nice pass by Fox again, and McGee is going to be grabbed by Alvarado. I guess he thought it was a shooting foul. I don't think so.
I don't think it was, and that's only the second team foul on the Pelicans, so it will not be a shooting foul.
Yeah, he did kind of try to go up. I see his point there. Ingram is back in already. He's guarding Monk. They switched this late. Monk forced left. Najee Marshall all over him. Now he lets him get right, though. Nice pass, but Alvarado from behind. And that'll be a shot clock violation. I believe that is the third time that Alvarado has come in from behind and gotten a deflection already in this game.
He can be a huge difference maker for them. He's only been back about 2 weeks and has helped their bench quite a bit.
Little point Zion action here. That's the pick and pop. That's not the guy you want to leave, but it goes in and out. Marshall goes right in front of Murray, who didn't box out. Now it's Zion, and they're all over that left hand. Left hand and nail help there. Just nowhere for Zion to go. Monk missed McGee wide open on the roll. Fox on the crossover. Another steal. Man, the Pels' hands have been really active. Murphy, dunk. This is Sacramento has been stuck on 32 points. I want to say for almost 3 minutes here now. And there's another steal. Was that Alvarado again? Marshall on the drive, stepping around Fox, forces it in. Mike Braun would love to call a timeout here, but he doesn't want to use the discretionary. New Orleans getting back into it with the turnover.
Nate, that's 6 turnovers for the Kings, 8 Pelicans points off of them.
Murray, Fox for 3. Yes, finally they take care of that drought. But yeah, they are really hurting without Sabonis in there right now. The 2 fouls. Ingram against the drop coverage. Easy money. Liked setting that screen way out. Alvarado. Now Fox blows into the front court, and Zion with an obvious foul there. I'm not sure, like, why can't Zion Williamson have some, like, verticality? Yeah, you see there's the, that Grand Theft Alvarado. I don't know if he actually was, like, technically out of bounds to sneak up on him, but that is 4 knockaways from behind by Alvarado in this first half.
De'Aaron Fox has 4 of the Kings' 6 turnovers.
And one of their missed free throws. Fox really struggled in that game against the Warriors on Tuesday. The epic comeback probably shouldn't have been as close as it was, but he was 9 of 17 from the foul line.
So let's see let's see if the Pelicans can set this up. 51 seconds now, 48, 47 left.
Looking for the 2-for-1. They want to go after Vezenkov and pick and roll. 2 on the ball. That leaves Marshall on the drive. Alvarado open in the corner, and that's nice. That time, they take advantage of the help, and when you give up a corner 3 with that help, it's a lot worse than if it's above the break. Bouncer from Monk. Now Fox up top. 1-on-1 against Murphy. He'll back it out with 10 to shoot. Fox crossing over into Murphy. Has to step back. Good defense by Trey Murphy. Murphy, I think, a little better on smaller players. And Ingram has 12 seconds here. Fox trying to bother him. They want to involve Vezenkov again. Vezenkov on the hedge. Murphy attacking Murray. And one! What a move by Murphy. And that will be a second on Keegan Murray now. New Orleans, what a response from them. They trailed 29-15 at one point.
And that's 6 points with potentially 1 more to come in 5 minutes of action for Trey Murphy.
Yeah, this Pels team, no Larry Nance, but they have the full complement. Dyson Daniels going to come in just for defense here. He'll get 1.4 seconds of action. We'll see whether that continues or not. Murphy debuted on Friday, had a really nice game against the Spurs, but of course did not play in the back-to-back. Misses the end one. Tip! Oh!
That should count.
Did you see that?
That should count.
Absolutely! What a play! That condor arm of Herb Jones. Look at this! He shot that intentionally! What a play that was! 4-point play to end the quarter. Also, he beats the 7-footer to the rebound.
JaVale McGee went to a position he didn't box out the man, and that I think that made life a lot easier for Herb Jones.
100%.
That's a big 2 points.
And I mean, the Kings lead by a mere 1. It's a 20-7 run to close. No, I'm sorry, that is wrong. It's a it is 20-7 run to close the half or the quarter. Wow. All right, it was a quarter.
Felt like a half.
Why can't Zion defensive rebound? Well, he doesn't jump for the basketball. I mean, he doesn't jump for the basketball, he doesn't pursue the basketball, and he also doesn't box out.
Yeah.
He
could, I think he would, honestly, he'd probably be better as a box out guy than as the rebounder himself, though he, of course, can be a talented.
No, he could be an incredible rebounder. Like, the way, especially early in his career, the way he pursued the ball on the offensive glass, like, there was a relentlessness to his offensive rebounding that I don't know that he still has anymore, but He used to get these sequences like early on when we broke down like his debut in 2019. Like I was just shocked by like, all right, he misses a shot on one side of the basket, it goes over to the other side, and he gets the rebound on the other side, but he just doesn't do it.
To run through the foul trouble, Sabonis has 2, Keegan Murray has 2, Trey Lyles has 2. No one on the Pelicans has more than 1. The Pelicans only committed 3 fouls in that quarter. The Kings committed 7. Let's go through the shot charts briefly from that first quarter. Sacramento only took 3 shots from 2 that weren't around the basket, 5 of 6 in the restricted area, and then 1 for 3, but it's only 3, and then a ridiculous 7 of 10 on above the break threes for Sacramento. New Orleans got 4 corner threes, split those, 2 of 5 on above the break threes.
On YouTube, question: what are your thoughts on the upside of this Pels team when healthy?
They definitely have a lot of guys that I really like. I wonder, like if especially if they can get the best version of Larry Nance. I still think that Valanciunas kind of limits their defensive ceiling. So I think they could be a playoff team. I don't know that they're a team that I would pick to win like more than 1 round, depending on.
I mean, when healthy, they have to be a playoff team. I would say
they damn well better.
So McCollum is back in now. 59, 58, 57. McCollum crosses the timeline, and good Kings communication there. They knew what play was happening, and Barnes in front of Zion in good order. They go under on Alvarado. Vezenkov with the foul. Not good enough there by Vezenkov. He was in good position. Alvarado's not a great finisher. Just stay solid. Force him to shoot over you. Mike Braun has got to be pretty sick with that. They knew what play was running. Everyone called it out. Everyone got through the screen. They didn't allow Zion to get to his left hand. They give it up, and Jose Alvarado makes a play on you 1-on-1 because you fouled.
But then Alvarado misses the free throw, and he is plus 11 in 5 minutes of action so far, and I think he has earned that plus 11.
Yeah, I mean, for the turnovers that he's forced to have completely changed the game. And he's tied it now for New Orleans after missing the first free throw. Herb Jones is back now. It's Herb, Alvarado, CJ, Trey Murphy, and Zion. So this is Zion at center now, but they have enough wings to kind of to make that happen. There's another Fox turnover, his 5th already. Jones leads for Alvarado's 3-pointer. Yes, Pels lead.
Huge push back for them, and turnovers have been a central part of it as they were on that basket.
Would you come back with Sabonis here earlier? Because their offense has been awful since he went out.
I would.
Pick and roll at Zion. Conventional pick and roll defense. Fox into the lane. And we'll get a reach in here. I'm not sure who they're going to tag with it.
It looks like they called it on Zion Williamson. So that is his 2nd. 2 isn't foul trouble, but we're getting closer.
So this is something that we thought we might see from Zion in his Duke days. A lot of people talked about, man, he's so good defensively. Like he could switch. He could be that small ball center because of the way he has his shot blocking prowess. I was always skeptical of that, both because of his short arms. I didn't think he had the quickest feet, sliding his feet. And then his rim protection was more of the spectacular block variety rather than the nuts and bolts. He largely has not been played at center. They have the personnel, they feel, I think, to do it with Murphy and Jones out there with him. So let's see, they're screen for Zion here. They go under. Barnes is there. Kick out. Same play. Vezenkov just lost him, and they got lucky with the miss. Malik Monk on the push. Fox against McCollum. Vezenkov fires. He'll have the size advantage over Alvarado in that matchup. Here's McCollum. Now Alvarado gets into the lane, kicks out. Zion left with a bunch of space. Barnes with good help there, and McCollum with the floater. But that's given where they were in terms of having the driving kicks. I thought the Kings executed relatively well, and McCollum just makes a good floater. Wow, another deflection off of Fox.
De'Aaron Fox that's 5 turnovers, right? And he it's only listed as 4, but I believe it is in my head it's 5.
It was 4 at one point, right?
Yeah.
So then he committed another one.
And then he's also missed 2 free throws so far.
Monk coming off of 2 screens on the Lyles handoff, kick back out to Lyles 3-pointer, missed. Kings starting to go cold. Vezenkov, there again. Zion.
That was
and Zion
terrible
very
defensive
lucky.
rebound. Well, very lucky, except that it's still Kings ball.
Yeah, but he was very lucky to avoid a third foul there.
Oh, yes, yes, very.
Like, watch this here. Like, Zion, like, how is Zion, just not jumping higher? Like, he's not in a ready position to jump for the basketball. Lyles working at the elbows, and we're going to get no offensive foul. Alvarado looking as though he got hit in the face. Is that another turnover on Fox?
I think that one is on... Oh, yeah, I guess it would be. Oh, so, I didn't see much contact.
They bumped heads. Fox is outside the cone of his body there a little bit with his feet, but he's in pretty solid position. But he does give him a little bit of a shove. Yeah, I think that...
So what's interesting is I think that the head contact there was incidental contact, but there was illegal contact on the screen that they probably wouldn't have called if it weren't for the head contact.
And so they're going to go for the challenge here. I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. How many fouls would that be on Fox?
1.
So this is kind of interesting. Fox did get hit in the face. Like, he's bloodied right now. Yeah, that does... Because Fox... he gets the arm out. Like, technically, maybe there is something to sustain
and
that.
I thought he extended his leg out, too. Then the leg was what made Alvarado go down.
Yeah, he is outside the cone. Well, I think what made him go down was the fact that they bumped heads.
Is it a flagrant because he hit his head? No, because it wasn't a flagrant action that led to it. They just bumped.
Yeah, no, I think he was kidding.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Hard to tell tone on the internet. But why I really don't like this challenge from Mike Brown is the low upside nature of it, where De'Aaron Fox isn't in foul trouble. You're not getting free throws. You're not taking free throws off the board. It changes a possession. But to me, if you're going to use a challenge for a change of possession, it has to be like 100%. Like, and we even had one recently where it was like a 90. You and I thought it was like a very likely success. It didn't work out, and it's just like the upside isn't high enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's a high enough chance of success. Now, maybe he's just trying to save Fox from his 6th turnover. And De'Aaron Fox right now, 5 points, 1 of 6, hasn't made a 2-pointer, 2 of 4 from the line, 2 assists, and 5 turnovers with, I believe, a 6th pending, where a turnover might have got lost in there somewhere.
Alvarado will find it.
How is this emergency pizza helping him? He's got like 25 people at this barbecue. Like, I could eat that whole pizza myself.
You very well could. RP says, I'm underwhelmed by Zion defensively. Looks scared of getting in the way. I agree with that. I think that Zion, he has a big margin between the type of defensive player he can be, the type of defensive player that he is at times, and what he is most of the time. And it is disappointing, especially on a team where they could really benefit from that, especially in some of their configurations.
So I asked you this before. Maybe we need to flesh out this conversation a little more of, like, Sabonis plays 7 minutes, goes out with the 2 fouls. He's plus 12. Their offense has totally fallen apart, particularly with a bunch of turnovers since then. Now, the Pels have also gone to a better defensive group, including Alvarado, since then. But
But they
should
wouldn't need
Sabonis be
they
back
wouldn't
in
need to
here?
rely on Fox as much if Sabonis were out there. So you could negate some of that. Some of
Yeah.
those turnovers might just not happen.
This has got to be the biggest game Zion's ever played in. I mean, he played in some pretty big games at Duke, but yeah, in the NBA for sure, because he was not available for the playoffs, nor for their play-in game last year.
But to answer your question, yeah, I would absolutely have Sabonis out here. This is a single elimination situation.
Yeah, but I mean, all right. So let's see here. Yeah, I mean, because he's got the left foot outside the cone of his body. They're not going to overturn it here. So they try to go under on Zion. Sabonis is back in the game. Fox has sat. They've got Keon Ellis back in. Murphy. Now Jones blowing by Sabonis. That's got to be a foul on Monk. Why didn't they call that? But Herb Jones going right at Sabonis. Sabonis has the matchup against Herb Jones because they want Barnes on Zion. Good job by Jones taking advantage there. Good switch out by Murphy, forcing them further on the floor. Now Sabonis looking to post up on Jones, and they're going to get Jones coming through here. Jones thought he got held off with his arm by Sabonis.
And you often see teams go after a player in foul trouble on the defensive end. I think you might try to draw an offensive foul on Sabonis here. Like just a sell on a screen or something like that. I mean, now Jose Alvarado is going out. He would have been the guy who would have tasked with that of like, just fall over on one of those screens he sets.
Sabonis working at the elbows again, trying to interact with Monk. Good job by Jones getting through the screen, and that's a shot that the Pelts will live with. Their defense has really picked up since the midway point of the first quarter. Here's McCollum on the pick and pop. Valanciunas deep seal on Sabonis, who Sabonis is just not. Oh, wow, how did he miss that layup? Sabonis was just standing there desperately afraid to foul, and Valanciunas got spooked anyway. Pitch back to Monk. They go under on him. Here's Sabonis going into Valanciunas, and I thought that was a foul on Valanciunas too.
I agree. But even without Fox on the floor, I think we're seeing more verve, more balance in the Kings offense when Sabonis is there.
Ellis with the good hedge against Zion. McCollum did well to get separation from the screen. Rebound by Valanciunas. And he will be fouled before the putback. Who are they going to nail with this one? Yeah, I mean, that's Valanciunas fouls him 3 times in that sequence there on the replay. He's not in front of him.
They assigned that foul to Keon Ellis.
Okay. Yeah, the one sending Valanciunas to the line. But yeah, the other end, Valanciunas, he's coming over. He's not vertical. He's moving when there's initial contact, and then he's contact with the arms, which are forward twice as well. Kevin Huerter coming back in. Keegan Murray coming back in. Vezenkov didn't do a ton. Mike Braun matching up Harrison Barnes' minutes exclusively with Zion. So is Zion out? Mike Braun, a playoff-like substitution pattern. Gets Harrison Barnes out as well. What a turnaround it's been for New Orleans now with a 30-10 run. Murray. He abused Ingram early. And I thought Sabonis, he's going to get fouled there, but I actually thought he missed the pass to Monk. And Sabonis is saying it actually. I think he's saying like, yeah, I had you there because, I mean, you saw where Herb Jones came all the way off of Malik Monk, who was wide open for a corner 3. And Sabonis did well to not get it stolen and get fouled, but that was not the right decision, I would say.
And that is the first foul on Jonas Valanciunas, even though you and I both believe it should have been the second, but that's not the way things are.
Yeah, I forgot that Valanciunas and Sabonis, both Lithuanians. Yeah, Sabonis, that's before he was even drafted on that team.
Long before he was the power forward for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Sabonis, couple of free throws, sacked back within 4. I'm interested to see whether Keon Ellis can do anything at all on offense. He's guarding McCollum right now, did well to get through the screen, and he forced the travel. Nice job there. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that he has taken the job of Davion Mitchell. And even after spraining his ankle, they went back to him when he came back. So Davion Mitchell and also Colby Jones, who was drafted 34 this year. Keon Ellis is on a two-way. Monk, Dyson Daniels in for the first time. He immediately lets Monk go right. Monk thought he got fouled. Sabonis rebounds. If Monk could get back in the play, he could have had a layup. Instead, it's Murray's three-pointer. That misses. Valanciunas lobs it up, and Sabonis recovers. There's the lob underneath, and Monk's still getting chopped by Dyson Daniels. No call. Now it's Monk going right again. Beautiful spray pass to the left side. Herter can't cash out. Kings missed 2 wide open threes in that possession. Daniels picks up his dribble. Murphy, now Ingram. One-on-one against Murray. Not really an advantage matchup. Ellis, great nail help there. Ingram didn't see him at all. They throw it ahead. Herter, Sabonis down the lane, steps around Daniels, but the right hand misses. They get Daniels, I believe, with a late foul, however.
On the reach, and that was a phenomenal example of how the Euro step counters a charge draw. And yeah, that was a reach by Dyson Daniels.
Did he actually make contact? I couldn't tell.
I thought he caught him on the wrist. That's what I saw. I saw wrist contact personally. And as a note on the Keon Ellis thing, Davion Mitchell is fully available for this game. He missed Saturday versus the Nuggets due to illness, but he is available for this game. He's just not playing.
Sabonis starting to get in rhythm from the free throw line.
And Chris Duarte, though, is unavailable. He's dealing with left knee soreness. We had a commenter earlier talking about how that might be a good thing for the Kings. Mike Brown has had a lot of faith in Chris Duarte, which may be less.
Well, part of that's been with Keegan Murray out, and he's returned
Sure.
from that SI joint irritation over the weekend in their victory over Denver. Murray, good pressure against Ingram. Murphy at the elbow. They want to bring McCollum out of the opposite corner. Good top side by Ellis. They get nothing out of it. Now it'll have to be Ingram. Murray gets through that screen. Ingram goes to the tough pull-up. And, I mean, that's really good defense right there. That's just Brandon Ingram can make that shot, but that is over the course of the game. You have to have confidence that that's going to work for you. Monk, against the nail help of McCollum, he throws it away. That time they helped off of Ellis, and they didn't even look that way. McCollum's three-pointer, they are killing them in points off of turnovers, and now lead by 7.
The stat on that, 13 points off of 9 Kings turnovers for the Pelicans, 2 points off of 7 Pelicans turnovers. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting because Sacramento actually has 5 steals. So they've only scored 2 points off of that. And of the 9 turnovers for Sacramento, 7 are steals for the Pels.
What is typically a good number for points per turnover? I'm trying to remember. Let me.
Let's just look it up on points per turnover. It's probably not the right metric because points off
not
turnovers
all turnovers
includes,
are the same.
Yeah, it includes dead ball turnovers, but it's around. It's in like the 1.314 points per possession.
Yeah, so off a steal right now, the whole league is a 137 offensive rating off a steal.
Now that's when they shoot within the first 7 seconds or whatever on a fast break off of the
Correct.
Steal.
So you could scale that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe
like slowed down, we don't have that number.
Yeah, maybe like a 120 offensive rating if we're talking the full sample, maybe even lower than that.
Yeah. Well, it's probably basically after that first 7 seconds, you can default back to pretty close to what it would be just off a miss in a half court situation. But yeah, this is particularly because I haven't thought that the Pels half court offense has been particularly effective. Both forcing the turnover. I mean, there's a reason that steals are pretty damn important because you stop the other team and you take away their possession completely. No chance for an offensive rebound, and you get to run yourself. So the feedback loops.
It's early returns, but Willie Green, if this game is close late, has some real decisions in front of him because Alvarado has played great. Trey Murphy has been really important. He had that stretch where he scored 6 points in 5 minutes, and then we're not giving him credit for the missed free throw that Herb Jones tipped in, but he's done well. McCollum they've been giving him better shots than we would have expected. He's had some good moments. And then at the center spot, I haven't loved Valanciunas in this game, but without Larry Nance available, are you really going to go with Zion at center against Sabonis? That would be a big ask. So yeah, and then for the Kings, I mean, I would assume that if it gets close, that they'll have their main five, but the one sub that they've often made is Malik Monk, and that is a little bit harder with the size of the Pelicans. A reminder briefly of the stakes of this contest. The winner goes on to Vegas, and it was a neutral site game, so it doesn't really matter whether they're home or road. And thank you for the note. Keegan Murray headed to the locker room with a back thing, and it was the back that caused him to miss the second half of the first of the Pelicans Kings set, and that's when Brandon Ingram went off.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch what happens to him here. Yeah, so it's right SI joint irritation. That looks to be right in that area. So Barnes is in despite the fact that Zion isn't. Fox, this is our first Fox Sabonis minute in some time, and Fox immediately gets downhill. That's what he has not been able to do off the dribble. He's turned it over a number of times, so they set up the DHO for him to turn the corner and attack against Dyson Daniels. And Danny, why is Dyson Daniels in this game? And it's only a couple of minutes here. He is +5.
It is a weird question because it's not like Jose Alvarado has played ridiculous minutes in this game and you have to give him an extra rest.
Or Najee Marshall, for example. I think those guys have generally been more effective. One of my biggest criticisms for Willie Green as a coach is that he plays too many guys in a big game. And let's watch Herter here on Daniels in the corner. He immediately double teams Ingram off the ball to prevent the entry pass. He's still in Ingram's lap. Ingram tries to wave Daniels away, but it doesn't work. Here's Murphy eluding Lyles for 3. Man, that movement shooting is
sidestep
huge.
3 from Trey Murphy on Trey Lyles. Really nice footwork there.
Yeah. Another guy who maybe could be getting ticked would be Jordan Hawkins.
Sure.
As well, but I think they don't trust him defensively. Lyles in the corner, good closeout by Murphy. Herter on the move against McCollum, left it short. Now it's Ingram. It's Sabonis on an island against Murphy. He'll take it again, looking for 2 in a row. Well, short. Fox looking to push it, and we're going to get an interaction here with Lyles and Valanciunas engaging. Referees saw it immediately. Doug Christie jogging out to try to break things up. Doug, just as long as it stays on the floor. If it's in the tunnel, then Doug Christie probably not going to be a peacemaker.
And I have a belief that this will be a standard double technical, the NBA thing. Though it does appear that the only physical thing, the first one was Trey Lyles took, I wouldn't call it a swing, but his hand did make a motion towards Valanciunas on the rundown.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, standard infighting. We're going to get an internal review here. I think that's one where if no punches were thrown, I don't think we need to really go through it in such detail.
One other thing I talked about how I expect, Trey Lyles, he hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah, well, he got elbowed in the face first, right? I mean, this is... Is this allowed to be nothing? Could this be nothing in today's NBA, or is it just, it's impossible?
It's not allowed to be nothing. I would like for it to be nothing. Or one of the other things that the NBA doesn't do enough is it doesn't have to be a technical on both guys. It can just be that one of them did more bad stuff than the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably could be a technical on both guys.
I don't think Valanciunas did anything technical worthy there.
No. I mean, he was kind of just grappling with him a little bit. I didn't think, Valanciunas. Lyles did he was the first one who had a real sort of non-basketball play. Valanciunas is being really physical with him. Yeah, that extra. Yeah, I think there should be a technical on Lyles and a nothing on Valanciunas would be my thought. I mean, Lyles is really delivering more blows here, but this is still just kind of good physical play. And Valanciunas, he holds him running up the floor, and Lyles took exception. Yeah, so this is now taking too long. We've made our decision. Harrison Barnes, look how bored Harrison Barnes looks right now. A physical taunt. Yeah,
But I believe
that's probably the right adjudication.
And that, I mean, Valanciunas is a good enough free throw shooter that in normal circumstances you could do this, but I assume you'd have Trey Murphy shoot this.
Yeah, apparently the Pels are like really pissed off thinking it should be more, which is absurd.
No, it should not be more.
It's absolutely absurd.
You got it. You got the adjudication that I wanted, but the next most likely was a double technical, which is worse for you rather than better. But
so Murphy with the free throw. Sacramento has now scored 16 points in the last quarter or so of action. They led it 29-15 at one point. And one of the biggest takeaways why I picked the Pels in this matchup was I think like their perimeter defense really seems to give problems to Sacramento, and particularly Fox, who has struggled immensely. Fox off the Sabonis screen. Can't get to his left hand. That's the first open-ish mid-ranger, but still Daniels bothered him. Good defense by Valanciunas as well. Now Herter stepping back nicely off the offensive rebound.
Enjoyed Herter there, taking a couple of dribbles backwards, knowing Valanciunas wasn't going to give chase. Pelicans 5:01, 5 minutes left.
Trying to post up now with Ingram on Fox. Double team coming from Monk. They get out of it. Good go and catch by McCollum. Murphy's three over Herter. Man, that is deep. He wasn't even really open that time.
And Trey Murphy, along with Jordan Hawkins, they can give the Pelicans some really different directions to go, make them a lot harder to defend.
McCollum says we're going to force him left, and they get the turnover. Daniels, Monk looking to run him down. Daniels, I don't know what happened there. Valanciunas, Ingram's three over Monk. That missed. And Murphy almost got a steal in the backcourt. Now the Kings have the advantage. Sabonis in the corner, not looking to take that. Instead, backdoor, and Daniels with the steal. This Pels perimeter defense has been awesome.
Phenomenal recognition by Daniels there, knowing the most likely pass was that low one from Sabonis to Fox. They do so often.
Yeah, Murphy, that was... Valanciunas took too long to get the ball to Murphy. Murphy was clapping his hands because he liked the matchup that Ingram had against Herter. I don't think that's some unbelievable matchup necessarily, but they really wanted to get it, and they pick up the foul on Herter, shoving Ingram out of post position. And Dyson Daniels, though I criticized his inclusion, had some nice defensive plays in that run.
Two of his +8 is that he was in for that weird rebound. Still +6.
Ingram couldn't get the wide open right elbow mid-ranger, even though that's his shot. Sabonis looking to interact with Fox. It's McCollum on Fox. Fox getting downhill, finally stretching around, but missed the layup, and Sabonis couldn't get the rebound. Kings seem to be back, though. McCollum kicking out. They moved it too slowly, trying to post up Valanciunas in the lane. Valanciunas is really upset. He should have gotten the ball there. Instead, it'll be Ingram one-on-one against Herter. Help comes at the nail. Kick out, Herb Jones three-pointer, and that's down. He's 2 of 4 from downtown now, but he's not the only one making threes for New Orleans. Monk, pocket pass. Kick out was too slow from Sabonis. Fox, and finally he gets one against the drop of Valanciunas.
It really is a shame Jose Alvarado is not allowed to play even 10 minutes and a half.
Zion's been out for a while too, interestingly. McCollum, they're trying to post up Valanciunas again. And I mean, do you see how Sabonis just completely deactivated now?
That was even more egregious than Jokic, some of the ones that Jokic does.
Yeah, now part of that was because he was complaining to the referee for a 3-second. Fox almost lost it again. Now he's lucky to get it back, and he blows by McCollum for the layup. But that was not exactly the way you draw it up. So still no Zion. Zion has really been a non-factor tonight. Ingram off the screen. They contain it, move the ball nicely into the post. They should keep going to this because Sabonis is just not going to foul him. And Valanciunas scores again.
I will give credit to Sabonis. He forced a much tougher shot, but Valanciunas hits it. He is up to 8 points on 2 of 3 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line.
Yeah, well, this is now a 29-16 quarter, and we'll give you the stats on that run since the middle of the first momentarily. Fox, loose. That time it's fouled by Herb Jones. Yeah, here's this deep post up by Valanciunas. Gets the easy hook shot. I'm sure he had plenty to say after he didn't get the post up on that one possession. And then he goes across the lane here. Again, Sabonis is just, with the 2 fouls, is not interested in playing physical defense against him. So it was 29-15 at one point in this game. And so that makes this, a 49-23 run? Fox continuing to struggle from the line.
Yeah, it was 32-17 at one point as well.
Valanciunas at the elbow. They like to run that back screen action. Denver runs a lot of that too. It's not quite as damaging with McCollum and Ingram as Jones tried to go backdoor, and that was not what CJ McCollum was expecting. So, we'll presume that Keegan Murray is out right now, Danny. Danger time here for Sacramento. Pocket pass. Murphy comes over, and now all of a sudden the Pels are starting to foul.
They are, and Sacramento is in the bonus. That is the 7th foul for the Pelicans so far in this second quarter, and they have a couple of guys who can really take advantage and draw free throws off of non-shooting fouls, Sabonis, of course, being one of them.
We mentioned the run that the Pels have been on. They're up to 9-17 from downtown. And Sacramento, after 6 of their first 10, have made only 1 of 7 from three-point range. And so they're still shooting 41%, but they're not getting that many up. And Zion is going to return.
And I have no idea why Jose Alvarado is not closing this half. He made De'Aaron Fox's life miserable.
So who are you taking out, though?
For me, honestly, it'd probably be Herb or CJ. You could do it either way, depending on what you valued.
Yeah, I still think Herb is a better defensive player.
But he's not as important on who you need to guard here.
Zone here for the Kings off the free throw. They pass him off. Fox is on Ingram. Zion at the elbow. Ingram, they double team. 3. Good pass there by Zion. Nice, easy, simple basketball against the zone.
And good relocation there by Ingram, finding a seam.
10 of 18 from 3. Fox finds Sabonis nicely. That was Monk, excuse me. Getting to the right hand. They force him towards the baseline, but that Monk can play make going right, and he can finish going right. He can't do either going left. He can really only shoot the 3. Ingram into the lane. That's a good spot, but he was bothered. Valanciunas still has it. Late clock now, though. Ingram on the move. He's going to have to create one-on-one against Monk. He fires over him. Left it well short. Zion trying the offensive glass. He's kept it alive, but only 0.3 to work with. Barely time for a catch and shoot. Get Herb Jones in. Lob it up to him right at the dotted line.
Or try to pretend like he's tipping in a free throw.
Herb is actually the inbounder here. Ingram coming off the screen. He's open. Does he get it off? I don't think he did. You really got to almost like hot potato it. You can, in theory, catch and shoot, but it's got to be a hot potato. That's Ingram. The way he shoots the ball and he kind of lowers it to his head and then fires. There's no way he got that off in 0.3. 11-point game. Kings looking for the 2-for-1. Fox accelerates. CJ stays in front of him. Another strip. Fox gets it back. Left it short. Sabonis. Big rebound and finish. Man, Fox is... He's saying he got hit on the hand, but that was kind of a hand as part of the ball situation. He's had a number of deflections that were lucky to go right back to him for a bucket. Ingram against Herter, who's trying to get physical with him. 4-second differential. They involve Monk. Ingram waves him away. Now the double team. Ingram, nice cut. Herb Jones underneath. Valanciunas, big dunk. Great cut by Herb Jones to open it up. You don't have to just stand at the 3-point line if your man double teams. Here's Monk right back, and that's a huge three by Malik Monk to cut it to 8 with 0.2 left in the half. Amazing job by the Kings running after the make. And they're still in contact here, down 8, despite a disastrous last 18 minutes or so. All right, well, we will take a break here for halftime. We'll be back right at the start of the second. Hope you're enjoying this. Talk to you all soon. Are you back, Danny?
I am.
All right, let's get rolling here. So yeah, interested to see how much Zion Williamson is going to do here in the second half. Kings are the Keegan Murray is actually back. That's interesting. Maybe he got some treatment, and he's going right into Brandon Ingram, and didn't look great there on that finish. Yeah, he's laboring. There's Herb Jones going right through Herder, tipped home by Valanciunas.
Great job by Valanciunas beating Sabonis down the floor, establishing position, getting an offensive rebound.
Barnes trying to get through Zion, who stays with him nicely, and he's lost it. Yet another Kings turnover. Good defense by Zion. Barnes usually has the strength advantage, not against Zion. Here's Ingram. Tough. Fade. What a shot that is.
Sacramento coming down the court, 10-56, 55-54 for those trying to sync up.
Sabonis at the elbow. This is where they've had their most success. Herder off the screen. Sabonis set the screen. CJ kind of flopped down knowing he was beaten, and that's a big three from Herder. Kings will need the three-point shooting to stay in it. Ingram against Murray again. Engages Sabonis in pick and roll. Doesn't look for Herb. Instead, he finishes again. Two very tough buckets by Brandon Ingram and Keegan Murray. I mean, if you keep an eye on him, he looks like he's kind of gutting it out right now.
And Nate, one of the huge stories of this game, the Kings have turned the ball over 11 times, but 10 of those 11 are steals for the Pelicans. It's a part of how they have 15 points off of Sacramento turnovers already. 15-6 is the points off turnover advantage.
Ingram looking to complete the three-point play. Pels now lead it by 12. Kings have had some big comebacks in this building, but they're going to need another one now. Sabonis at the elbow again. Valanciunas trying to pressure him up more. Same play they just ran. Herder, same shot he just got, but that time McCollum stayed with him a little more. Zion actually gets a defensive rebound and brings it up. 4-5 pick and roll coming here with Valanciunas. Gets off the ball. Herb is open. Yes, Herb Jones, third three-pointer of the game, taking advantage of that aggressive nail help off of him, and the Pels are shooting the shit out of it from three. Nice dump down there by Herder in transition.
Pelicans 11 of 20 from long range, Kings 9 of 20, which is very good themselves.
Yeah, but the Kings not having the volume advantage on the Pels is interesting. They put two on the ball with Ingram now. They changed up the pick and roll coverage. That leaves Zion wide open for only his fourth point of the game. Fox tries to push it up. Goes into Herb Jones, tried to draw the foul. Great defense. Rebounded by Sabonis. More Butterfingers for the Kings. Now it'll be Barnes. Fox eluding Zion. Wide open and hits from the left elbow.
The Pelicans spent a couple of times there trying to recover, and the Kings just attacking before, including that great one by Fox.
Ingram, Valanciunas pick and roll again. They're going to be more aggressive. No, they get off the ball. Zion, with everyone gapping, kicks it out to Ingram. He'll take the three. Zion making the simple play here these last two times. That's the right pass. They got a good three out of it. Sabonis pushing up hard. Murray hasn't done anything offensively. Sabonis will take the three. Murray has done nothing since that early flurry of 8 points. There's Herb going through Herder. Zion coming back in for the dunk, and Zion has 2 field goals here early. Both of them accrued just working along the baseline.
And Zion Williamson has doubled his point total from the entire first half. He's now up to 6. And we don't really know how that happened other than De'Aaron Fox driving. And that foul is called on Valanciunas. That is his third. Foul trouble was a part of the story for the Kings in the first quarter, but now no one on Sacramento has 3. They have roughly a billion people with 2. So some of them, I'll mention it if they get to 3. De'Aaron Fox had a very challenging first half, not only because of his shooting from the field, but also because De'Aaron Fox it ended up being 5 turnovers. You and I both felt that it was 6.
Yeah, someone in the comments noted maybe one of them was deemed a missed shot, but
That could be correct.
Yeah, it's interesting. McCollum and Zion have been very quiet so far. Iverson cut McCollum. He fires. Thought that was maybe a little aggressive. He wasn't that open, but that's what CJ's going to do. He hasn't been getting a lot of touches, so he's going to feels like he needs to take it. Sabonis, nice little leave behind there, but in and out for Murray. Outlet to Zion. Can he attack in transition here? Sabonis loads to him nicely. Crossover. Goodbye. That's exactly how Zion Williamson can go right and finish. He's not a great right-handed finisher, but he got the man leaning the wrong way on the 4-5 pick and roll. Snug pick and roll here for Fox, and that's very easy. Fox getting in rhythm from that left elbow.
By the way, that 15-point lead the Pelicans had briefly, that is their largest of the game, matching the Kings' largest lead of the game.
Zion, 4-5 pick and roll again. They'll switch this. Zion engages the help. CJ on the drive goes to the easy floor, and that's I really love the way that Zion Williamson is attacking here. They put him up top. He tried to go through guys in the first half. It wasn't there, so just engage the help. You get a really good player wide open, one pass away to either shoot or attack a closeout. Herder trying to bother Ingram. Ingram likes this matchup. Goes right, fades right. Valanciunas flopped for the rebound. Now he's behind. Sabonis on the push. Herb Jones is back. Nice leave there, and Jones will get called for the foul. That was an excellent job by Sabonis.
He pushed hard, and I really loved Sabonis' effort level overall in this game. He has created advantages just by moving down the floor faster than his competition.
Yeah, with that a 87-72 game right now, Sabonis is actually +1. He's got 18 points, 6 of 7 from the field. He's made all 6 of his free throws and 4 offensive rebounds.
This question from Zach is actually kind of leads us in a notable direction, which is where is Jordan Hawkins? And the answer is behind other guys in New Orleans rotation. And Jordan Hawkins, I think he deserves to be someone that Willie Green can lean on in these circumstances. But Trey Murphy, I have above him in the pecking order. I just think they can both play. And so in this one, you have that kind of their intended starting 5, and then Najee Marshall, Alvarado, Murphy as the primaries, and then some spot minutes for Dyson Daniels and maybe some spot minutes for Zeller if there's foul trouble, or he's the functional if they're not playing Zion at the backup 5. So I think Hawkins is one of their 10 best players, and what he brings is something that they could use, but it is a challenge that David Griffin has created for himself by having kind of arguably too many rotation-worthy guys.
Yeah, well, this is the first time they've ever all been healthy at once. So.
Sure.
So, yeah, and Trey Murphy was +21 in the first half. A lot of people say Trey Murphy should start. Do you agree with that?
I do, but not. I think Trey Murphy can. I think he can fill an important role for them, but I don't know who are you starting him over, because you don't. I don't want him defending point of attack guys. The Pelicans have an awkward thing where I think he would help them, but I don't know where he fits in there. What about you?
Yeah, it's a tough call. It would have to be over Herb in theory, but Herb's starting to shoot it better again this year. And Herb gives them more on-ball defense, which if you're going to play Zion, CJ, and Ingram and Valanciunas, you need a defense-only guy. If you get, go ahead.
We got asked a question about whether Herb Jones has significant offensive upside, and I think there is a more efficient version of him still as a lower usage player. I don't think Herb Jones has the dynamism on ball to be to really ramp up the way that you could say Mikal Bridges and some of these other guys are. But
yeah, we didn't think that about Mikal Bridges either.
he had better ball skills to me than Herb Jones does.
And better shooting as he's just exactly. A better net shooter. I'm not sure about that. I actually think Herb Jones has better passing ability. There's a reason he's always the inbounder, for example. Mm-hmm. I think he's a more natural driver.
But I will
than
say this, like
Bridges.
Herb Jones is hovering at like 15 usage for most of the years of his career. I think you could bump that more like to 18 without too much of a problem. And that would actually be a pretty big difference.
I mean, the guy who Trey Murphy should start over is CJ.
Sure, in an ideal world.
I mean, you don't technically have a point guard, but between Herb, Zion, and Ingram, you have enough dribbling. And it's not like CJ is like pushing it down your throat in transition. And I think Trey Murphy is a more valuable off-ball shooter than CJ McCollum at this point. Like
I agree.
Trey takes more deep ones. He's not going to like dribble in for a mid-ranger, and he gets it off easier.
The other important thing is I think Trey's game has more congruity with Brandon Ingram than CJ's does. Like they occupy different spaces. You can make that flow better.
The 1-2 at the foul line, and it's a 14-point Pels lead. Zion has controlled the action well. A little pitch back, gets Barnes on him, kick out again. They get another great play there. Zion just making the simple play, but they can't get the finish. Ingram wishes he could have got that one. Murray in transition, stepping back for three. What a shot that was.
And what a swing that is. It could have been a Pelicans 15-point lead, and instead now it's down to 11.
16-point lead even. That was
oh, you're right.
They go to the 4-5 pick and roll again. Zion, that time he got caught, but the loose ball goes back to the Pels. Valanciunas ducking in, goes to the left-handed hook, and Sabonis more aggressive now in the second half. He avoided picking up that third foul. Fox one-on-one against CJ. They force him right, backs down, tries to draw the foul. He's done so.
And you can see the difference in De'Aaron Fox's confidence and aggression when he has a more limited defensive player on him. And, I mean, that makes sense, and that's why if I were Willie Green, I would have their better defenders out there to kind of stem some of this tide.
And that's one of those plays there by Fox. It seems like left-handed guys like to do it even more of kind of lower the shoulder, kind of backing down, but then you turn and face and try to go up through the guy's arm. And that's the sort of shot that nobody ever gets the call on that in like other levels of basketball.
I'm enjoying
why
the
is
chippiness
Najee Marshall
here.
grabbing his own crotch there? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But Lyle's he could be a bit of an antagonist. McGee as well. I don't know.
And by the way,
McGee
that was
doing at the scores table.
another missed free throw for De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, Fox has gotten plenty at the foul line, but he has not been able to cash out quite as much. Ingram double team. He missed Valanciunas on the roll. Finally, he finds Marshall wide open. That misses. Fox working the defensive glass and fought hard enough to get the ball back to Sacramento. Fox wanting to push it up. He's guarded by Jones. They want to get Sabonis here near the free throw line, and let's see what they can run. Fox directs traffic. He wants everyone on the weak side. Comes off the screen to get CJ on him. Now they run the pick and roll. Sabonis coming down the lane. Beautiful move into Valanciunas. So that was all set up. De'Aaron Fox knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted to get a dummy pick and roll first, get CJ switched onto him rather than Herb, and then go into the pick and roll, and he was able to hit Sabonis on the pocket pass. But that all starts because he gets McCollum onto him first, and that's what all that directing traffic was about.
And so now Sabonis is on the floor. Willie Green looks like he's going to go with Cody Zeller rather than Zion at the 5 because you have this player to guard, and that creates a different dynamic for the Pelicans offensively.
And as much respect as I have for Najee Marshall's game and how good he's been, as an obvious foul by Valanciunas.
And even if you get mostly ball there, you're not getting that call.
And maybe Trey Murphy is on a minutes limit, although he played 16 in the first half. So I imagine he'll be seen shortly here. But you don't want to play him. If you want him to close, you maybe want to bring him in earlier. So why Marshall is in instead of Trey Murphy, particularly now with Zion out of the game, don't really get it. But McCollum getting a chance to cook for the first time in pick and roll. And we'll see if Mike Brown, that is a vulnerability they haven't really exploited yet. Sabonis in pick and roll defense. We'll see if they get to that. Lyles underneath Sabonis. Nice pump fake. Steps around and scores.
Somehow, Najee Marshall and Brandon Ingram both overcommitted on the same pass and conceded that drive.
McCollum, 2 on the ball. He pulls up for the mid-ranger. He's hit 2 in a row now.
There's a big push by CJ. 10-point lead, 4:37, 36, 35 remaining in the third.
Sabonis at the elbow again. They want to bring Lyles out of the corner. Now he rescreens for Fox on the twist. Kick out Herter, eluding Jones. Wide open now. Left it short. Herb Jones, he's still in guys' heads with that length even when they're open. Ingram working Murray. Into the lane, blocked from behind. Sabonis crashed down nicely, and now Ingram is complaining.
He completely ignored CJ McCollum wide open for 3.
Herb almost got the steal, but that gamble leads to this. Herter short again. He's missed 3 threes in a row now. Screen at half court set by Zeller, and we'll get a timeout here by Willie Green, who seems upset with something, apparently on the refereeing front.
I mean, there was no foul on Brandon Ingram there. That was just a nice play by Sabonis and tunnel vision of all tunnel vision for Brandon Ingram. Not the first time that has necessarily happened. So one of the key questions that I have for this close to the third and beginning of the fourth is when Sacramento has to go away from Fox and Sabonis. Each of those guys is going to need some rest in the second half. Can they generate offense? Because it was Sabonis' foul trouble in the first half that really derailed Sacramento's offense and got the Pelicans in momentum in the first place. Are they going to be able to withstand that storm? Will, Valanciunas' foul trouble and some of the lineup usage from Willie Green open the door a little bit more for Mike Brown? Brazzi noting that Trey Lyles is an underrated instigator. I fully agree with that. He has had a number of them over the years. Hasn't really been in enough high-profile situations for it to come up. But yeah, he can be one. And Brazzi also brought up Zach Collins. Zach Collins is an instigator. Neither of them comes close to the great Mo Wagner. But yes, they are notable instigators.
Who is the higher offensive upside, Jaden McDaniels or Herb Jones?
My first instinct is actually Herb. I think that I'm more confident with his handle than I am with McDaniels, but I don't think I have full, I don't think I have an encyclopedic, knowledge of that intricacy in both of their games. But I do think that it's dribbling and judgment that are really what can scale those guys a little bit differently. And you could say physical strength. And I generally, in that trio of factors, I think I like Herb Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden has the higher shooting ability, but Herb kind of has everything else. But, I mean, if you really want to say upside, yeah, if Herb just would learn how to shoot, then he does everything else better than Jaden probably. Well, Herb will never shoot mid-rangers, which Jaden could. You could see Jaden maybe kind of playing more like he did in high school at some point where he actually is a mid-range scoring threat in a Wolves team that doesn't have Mike Conley and doesn't have Karl Anthony Towns anymore, and maybe he could mature into a number 2 scorer.
Nate, I'm trying to remember. I know you remember these things really, really well. Herb Jones, so the contract he got a new contract with the Pelicans this year. If they had not done that, he still would have been restricted in the summer of 24, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have been Arenas limited.
Correct.
And they paid him basically the biggest contract that they could. They had a team option on him for this year. They turned that down to make him an Arenas restricted free agent after 2 years. Had they just played that out, they would have had him again.
Yeah. And
this summer restricted.
And one way of thinking about it is that by doing it that way, they basically gave Herb Jones their mid-level exception because the Pelicans were not going to go deep into the tax to use both. But I mean, would a mid-level exception guy even be in the rotation? Fair to argue that maybe they wouldn't be.
Alvarado is in now, so it's an all-bench Pels unit with Ingram.
Jose Alvarado's in, but De'Aaron Fox is not.
Ingram gets to his spot against Lyles. That was a nice little play to get Ingram the ball. When you get get a score like that with a live dribble inside of 15 feet, it's extremely difficult to defend. And Ingram pushes down Keon Ellis. Fox getting a break here. I don't imagine this break will be particularly long, but he's already on 28 minutes at this point. So,
and I think that's the 5th foul on the Pels, so that would be Keon Ellis free throws if I'm correct. Let's take it. This is a weirdly long. No, I guess not. I was right.
You figured it out faster than everyone on the court did. So Ellis has been a complete non-factor on the offensive end.
And I want to give Mike Brown and to an extent, Monty McNair credit. The latitude to play Keon Ellis over Davion Mitchell when Mitchell was a high draft pick, was somebody that they have faith in. If playing that takes guts organizationally, and there's no guarantee that Ellis will be better than Mitchell moving forward. But credit to them for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, well, Mike Brown also is the most powerful person in that organization, I would say, outside of Vivek Ranadive. Ingram gets to his spot against Sabonis. Yeah, that drop coverage of Sabonis against Ingram. Ingram is going to be able to get to whatever shot he wants in that configuration. We'll see if they change up on that. They did blitz it once earlier in the quarter. Sabonis looking to change sides. Monk, but he's going left. Gets off the ball, and Ingram, nice play in the passing lanes, the sort of thing you'd like to see more from him.
Nate, the Pelicans made 3 of 7 mid-rangers in the entire first half. They've made 3 mid-rangers. I think it's CJ and Ingram so far already in the third quarter.
Oh, Alvarado almost got the steal, but now he's out of the play. Monk on the crossover goes right. Wow, a fading pass by Monk, and he sets up Murray. That is a great pass by Malik Monk. Alvarado was out of the play. He sprinted all the way to the corner. It was good recognition by him, but he just couldn't get there in time. There's the high screen set. Everyone's behind the play now. Murphy, pump fake 3. Murray was there. I like setting that screen at half court, though. Sabonis gets Monk going to his right. Engages Zeller. Same pass. No, up top. Ellis, they need it. Big shot there. Keon Ellis puts it to a 6-point Sacramento disadvantage, as close as they've been since the first half. And Willie Green is going to get a timeout. Or this is a discretionary timeout. So this will be his 1 extra timeout if he wants to take 2 under 3 minutes.
And Nate, one of the big takeaways for me of the last few minutes, which has been true over the course of the season, is the growing potency of Malik Monk as a playmaker. And I've really appreciated his development. I mean, you and I, going back years ago, were talking about how Malik Monk couldn't make twos, and he had to grow his game there, and has gotten a lot better. Yeah, he was 38% on twos his rookie year. Improved there, though he's having a rough year now. And then just, becoming a more balanced player. He's become an established role player, and I'm really thrilled for him that he's been able to make that happen.
Yeah, re-signing him will be interesting. They'll have early bird rights on him. Part of the rationale for the Richaun Holmes trade was to open up more room below the tax for re-signing Monk after this season. And one thing I'll say is the Pels, to me, are not executing well enough against Monk in weakening him and getting him to that left side. Now, the way the Kings run all these handoffs through Sabonis, it's harder to direct the ball than if it's just a straight pick and roll. But there have been times when they just haven't played him and forced him left.
As John noted, getting out of Charlotte seems to improve players.
Just ask Boris Dia and Nick Batum.
We'll get some tests of that in the next couple of years.
So it's the Zion at center lineup. Murphy has missed a couple straight. Pels get the rebound. They want to go after Monk here with Ingram. No advantage gain on the screen. He's going to try to attack. Good help by Sabonis, but Zion is on the attack now. He kicks out. Late clock. Marshall, no, he did not get it off. And had to take that one.
It would have been kind of a weird scoop shot. I think Zion should have just taken that layup.
I agree with you. Clearly, they looked at the film in the first half and saw that the passes are open, and he set up another wide open Murphy 3 there. But Sabonis did a nice job of running Ingram off of his shot. Into the post, Sabonis. One of the few Sabonis post-ups we've seen. He's going to try Zion here. This is an interesting matchup. Zion trying to keep him off the right shoulder. Has the baseline spin, ducks in. Zion pretty big. And, of course, they don't get the defensive rebound because that's Zion there for the defensive rebound. But Zion, pretty good post defense here. And you're not necessarily going to move him too much. But Sabonis beats him to the ball. For an incredibly athletic player like that, Sabonis is off the ground first. Try him again here. Kick out. Lyles going at Marshall. In on Murphy, and the finish.
And one of the other reasons why Zion at the 5 is a dangerous proposition is the lack of supplemental rim protection from anyone else or Zion.
Yeah, I thought they overhelped there on Sabonis. You just missed on Zion. Why did you need to help out so much? Now Zion wants to work with Ingram. Ingram, they go under on him. He fires, bounces up, and in. Wow! Big shot there to stem the tide. Ellis had Monk open for a moment. Now he wants Sabonis in the post. Good pressure by Zion. Almost got the steal, but it was too much. Kick it out. Murray, footwork in the corner. Ooh, just rims out.
See if they can time up the 2-for-1 here.
Keegan Murray gutting it out after he re-injured the back in the first. Alvarado blow by on Ellis. And that's for the guy who's out there as a defensive specialist, letting Jose Alvarado just blow by you with his right hand from the left side of the floor is not very good. Sabonis waves Ellis to the corner. Monk pick and roll with Sabonis. Alvarado comes to help. That leaves Ellis for 3. Lyles on the glass, kept it alive, and the Kings will retain possession, and they'll be able to likely take the last shot of the half.
That shot bounced about as many times as Kawhi's.
Yeah, this is a good montage here. Like the in and out from Murray, that lucky bounce by Ingram. Maybe that's the difference in this game. Plus, the other 99 possessions as well. Yeah, so Ingram will sit down. This is his first rest of the quarter. They'll take Zion out as well.
Yeah, they should have Zeller in here. No, they don't. They're just going small.
Yeah, they're going all defense here with Daniels. Daniels getting 15 seconds of run instead of 1.4 at the end of the quarter. Sabonis will set the screen. They get the switch. Monk going right. Has to pull up on the fader. That missed. They defended him well. And New Orleans is 12 minutes away from their maybe most consequential win in franchise history. Maybe that was that was probably the play.
The play-in.
In against the Clippers when Paul George had COVID. Be right back here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good call. The sweep on the Blazers. Yeah, that is absolutely more impactful than this. I'll bring that up. I'm not going to relish it. I think I'll wait for him to see it in the comments and he'll get mad about it. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I think back to that series a lot. And the defense that they played on the Blazers and some of the ball denials and traps and everything. Oh, that was an awesome, awesome series. And then I got to see a lot of that, the resulting series because they played the Warriors and how they defended AD and all that. Namsar asked what Nikola Mirotic is doing, so I'm going to look it up because this seems like something where he could still absolutely be playing. Mirotic is 30. Yeah, he's only 32. Holy crap! Yeah, he's playing for Olimpia Milano in Serie A, so in Italy. So he's still playing. See if I can get anything more specific on it. Yeah, I had forgotten that he's just 32, but Mirotic is one of the rare players. It does happen though, who was successful in the NBA, but left for a significant deal in Europe. He is a player who had that opportunity, got a big deal with Barca. So it made him the highest paid player in Europe at the time. And then he suffered an Achilles issue, I think, while he was on that contract. It's wild that Keon Ellis is a part of the Kings rotation in this game. He's earned it. I mean, Keon Ellis has done a very good job for them. Sacramento has some other options in that space, but I think Ellis has played the best of those.
Yeah, I should have. I was listening the whole time. I had my Bluetooth headphones in. Yeah, I should have said that it was the most consequential win of the Zion era because they actually made the second round of the playoffs.
So apparently Barca. Yeah, I'm looking through this. Barca dumped him. Yeah, they the terminology. I just love that you're sometimes European teams have this. They unilaterally terminated his contract. So for this, we're talking about Mirotic.
I'd get Vezenkov in to see if he can get a couple quick threes to drop to start the fourth. I don't think so. I think Mike Braun is going to go. Like Keegan Murray's played 24 minutes. Maybe he needs a little bit of a break, but I think he wants to roll with him. He's 4-7 from three. Barnes, they need him in to guard Zion. Zion will be in to start. So I don't think we're going to see Vezenkov.
If something doesn't come up, I may do one of the questions we got on YouTube in a future one. It's a juicy one about a Pelicans consolidation trade, but we'll have to see if something supersedes it in the next.
Has there ever been a consolidation trade in NBA history?
Not very many, no. It's more in concept than in practice.
Sabonis and Fox are in right now. Sabonis still out there. Here's Lyles on the pick and pop. Sabonis working the glass, but it goes to Zion. Let's see if he can get something here in transition, or do they get in their ATO? No, they just want Zion to go after it. Again, that's just the right easy pass by Zion, but Murphy hasn't found the magic here. 0 of 3 from downtown in the third and fourth. They lob it up. Good help defense from Zion. Help force a turnover. 3-on-4 though. No, 4-on-4. Kings are back. Fox thefts Alvarado. He drives through Zion and will get a non-shooting foul here on Zion Williamson.
And turnabout is fair play. De'Aaron Fox, who was the victim of a couple of Alvarado deflections and steals in the first half. And this is the first minutes those guys have played against each other since the first half because Fox was out when Alvarado came in.
Yeah, they got a few minutes out of Cody Zeller. They got a few minutes out of Najee Marshall. Dyson Daniels is back out again. They're not messing around with him in this half. Fox has Zion on him. Blow by. Wow, that was atrocious. And Zion and Alvarado miscommunicating. But regardless, you don't let De'Aaron Fox blow by to the left hand. It's not like Alvarado was on that side waiting. Zion at the elbow against Barnes. Tries to go left. Barnes is there. Zion just goes up over, and that was too easy.
10:45, 44, 43 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Zion way out on the floor trying to hedge, and Fox goes right at that. I would just run that pick and roll at Zion every single time. Like he's not, I don't know what coverage they're in. I guess he's hedging, but Fox is too fast. They can't get back in front of him after the hedge. Zion was looking for the alley-oop. Alvarado didn't see it. Now he's going to post up Lyles. Both teams are small right now. Stepping back, it's McCollum. Three-pointer. CJ McCollum has been judicious with his shot attempts, but I think he's 4 of 4 in the second half. Monk getting to the right hand. Spin, lefty. What was that Fox?
What a finish there by Malik Monk, taking the margin to 8.
Spin move to the left hand. That's the best left-handed finish I've ever seen for him by a mile. Now they double Zion. No advantage. Pell's just not lined up to attack. McCollum trying Fox. Not really an advantage matchup. They get off the ball. Williamson will take it with under 3 on the clock, and that was an atrocious possession.
That is horrendous transition defense by the Pelicans. They didn't really get back, even though it was a Zion 3. They give up a 3.
Yeah, this has been really bad right now. Who are they sending to the table? Looks like it's Dyson Daniels. Okay. I don't know if that's who I would have looked down the bench for in this critical moment. McCollum, it's all isolation ball. Oh, and Jones got inside of Lyles. He looks over. Alvarado's trying the Grand Theft Alvarado here.
And Kevin Herter was trying to get a delay of game violation on Herb Jones because the ball hit him in the head on the way out.
So Herb gets a hand on it in transition. There's Trajan Langdon, Swin Cash, some of the Pels brain trust under David Griffin. Seven-point game. Sabonis is out now. He started the quarter just to get him off to a good start. Monk, right to left pass. Here's the drive by Lyles. And man, Trey Murphy getting a hand on it. Back-to-back deflections here by the Pels have the Sacramento Kings in a late clock situation. Who did Daniels get? Alvarado?
I believe so.
Yes. And there's an easy drive by Fox. We didn't see it because they were showing some people in the stands. But this Pels defense has been poor in the absence of a center.
I thought you were going to say porous, but porous probably more accurate.
Now they switch it. Barnes with two guys over to help. Zion gets off the ball. Spacing isn't there, though. They don't take advantage. Now CJ trying Fox, who's all over him. Jones into Trey Lyles, and they're going to get a foul on Lyles. Jones kind of led with his elbows. I thought that probably should have been a no call. And that was actually a pretty slick finish by Fox, but they were forcing him towards the baseline, but there was nobody there actually waiting for him on the baseline. So another failure of communication, and there's the foul on Jones. What did you think of that call?
Didn't love it. Wasn't what I mean. The nature of how the contact was initiated, like I don't know. And
so Daniels will be replaced here as Ingram returns. You got about a 4-minute rest. Brandon Ingram on pace to play right on 40 minutes. Zion has only played 25. He had a big rest in the second as they were making their run. Jones, a very reliable free throw shooter, pushes it back to 7. And you would think Mike Braun would go with Sabonis pretty quickly here. Fox, what a pass! But Lyles, the foul bails him out. Ingram got him, but that was an incredible set there. And another way that you can get guys going to the rim is to lift everyone up. And Fox has been fantastic, had a career-high 16 assists against Denver over the weekend, and a beautiful pocket pass to Lyles that time. But Lyles misses the free throw.
That is I believe, the 6th missed free throw already for Sacramento in this game. That's 3 more misses than the Pelicans have, though the Pelicans have far fewer attempts from the free throw line.
So this is a fascinating lineup. This is probably their 5 best players. Would you agree, Danny?
Yes, I would. So
but they don't have a center.
Herb, CJ, Trey, Zion, BI. So if we're not factoring in fit or anything else, just 5 best basketball players, yes.
And Zion will operate up top. Ingram at the elbow, comes off the McCollum screen. He wants Fox on the matchup. Ingram tells Murphy to go set the screen because he wanted to get Monk. But this Pels offense has been very staid. Here's Ingram, got it deflected. Jones careens through, and it's loose. Monk, Fox. What is this fast break? Awful.
If Fox didn't even
they
have
had a 3-on-2
when he was taking that shot.
Well, if Fox just angles for a layup, he could have gone in. Then McCollum misses. More missed layups. Herter on the push. Fox on the move against Ingram. Kicks out. Lyles. Flare screen set by Barnes. Another miss by the Kings. Oh, nice pass. But Jones is there. Monk gets to his right hand again. It's just not good enough by CJ, but they forced him left and he missed it. Sorry, I keep harping on this whole right-left thing with Monk, but it is rather stark.
And are they calling a foul here before the shot? I think that are out of bounds. I actually missed what the call is here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Monk had the easy layup if he just goes straight up. He thought he got fouled, but I can't say I saw a ton there. Maybe his feet got clipped from behind. Valanciunas is back now. They took Zion out. Ingram with Murray on him. Murphy on the drive. Left it short. Sabonis is back as well, presumably for the duration. Kings are still around here, down 6, looking to cut it to a 2-possession game. Murray's 3. Valanciunas on the box out. Kings just piling up missed 3-pointers here in the 4th. These are good looks.
We've been at 109, 103 for a really long time.
Into the post, Ingram. Murray has been gutting it out with the back issue. Force him left. Brandon Ingram with the mid-ranger, and Mike Brown will take his timeout with an 8-point deficit, staring the Kings in the face.
And Nate, I wanted to look at it. It was almost 2 minutes without a point for either team between that Trey Lyles made free throw and Brandon Ingram's jumper. This is, I think, a minute 45 between those, and that's bad for Sacramento because they're still down 8. They're down 8 after the Ingram make.
Yeah, Matthew says, I feel like the Pels don't know what they're trying to get to on offense with this lineup. And I agree. I think they're largely just trying to isolate, and they're getting double teams, but the spacing and the ball movement hasn't been sufficient to take advantage.
It is one of the more frustrating challenges of this Pelicans group is that overall, and there are some notable exceptions, I particularly have like the Alvarado-Nance combos to kind of defy this, that they have a lot of talent, but they have very few lineups that where the whole is even close to equal to the sum of their parts, much less exceeding it. And that's like you have players that do kind of the same thing, or you have, deficiencies that make life harder on other players, and you don't get to use the competitive advantage as much. It's hard, but they're still a damn good team. Like to be absolutely clear, it's just that it seems almost impossible for them to maximize, and Willie Green hasn't always helped that either. Would you keep Valanciunas on the floor? I would, because I don't think they have another way to go with Larry Nance unavailable and with Zion insufficient as a center when Sabonis is on the floor. You could try maybe something gimmicky with like doubles or like kind of like opportunity, like switch doubles or something like that. But the problem is we haven't really seen the Pels execute a scheme like that. And I don't know that it would actually even be better because Sabonis is such a good passer.
Yeah, and also you're going to be bad on the boards as well, right, with that group point. Without Valanciunas. Yeah, that's another issue. Sabonis can hurt you there.
And Sabonis, there was no guarantee that it was necessarily going to be this way, but he committed those 2 fouls in the first, came off the floor. That's when the Kings offense flatlined and the Pelicans took control. He's still on 2 fouls now.
Yeah, now he's going to get to 36 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, so he could have maybe played a little bit more, and he's been their best player. Fox is on 34, so he'll get to right at 40. Ingram's going to get to 40. He's got 27 points, 10 of 21, 3 of 6 from downtown. 3-point shooting, 13 of 35 for Sacramento. After that 6 of 10 start, they've gone 7 of 25. And the Pels, 13 of 29. So that's superior 3-point shooting, the difference.
And Nate, some of this could be how things are logged. The Pelicans they attack the paint a lot. The Kings have taken more shots in the restricted area than the Pelicans have. It's 24 to 21 in favor of the Kings. But in terms of points in the paint, because there's been a lot from the upper paint, that is 44 to 36 in favor of the Pelicans.
Alvarado is in with Murphy, Ingram, Valanciunas, and Herb Jones. Monk, they swing it. No advantage. They're late clock now. Monk going left. Still going left. Leaves it for Sabonis. Valanciunas, I thought, overreacted there to the penetration, but nice job by Sabonis setting the screen. He got him open and then rolled into space. Monk, his passing continues to impress. Now it's Ingram coming off the screen against Murray. Murray definitely limited with the back, but he's fighting through it. and he's going to get called for a little chucking foul here on the perimeter.
I did enjoy Jose Alvarado going up to set a screen, making exactly zero contact and not slipping it. He just kind of walked away.
Yeah, so looking at that replay, right, like Malik Monk leaves his feet off of 1 foot from the left elbow. Please take that shot. I don't know why you want to continue to react forward at that point if you're Valanciunas. You should be, the moment he picks up his dribble in that spot, you should be immediately retreating. And they get Murray again. 2 on this possession. What's the team foul situation here?
They have committed 3, so that the good thing they didn't commit many earlier in the quarter. They're not in significant danger now.
Put a 4th foul on Keegan Murray. They're going to go right after him again. 2 on the ball. Nice pass underneath. Good rotation from Barnes. Valanciunas hooks and scores anyway. That was a beautiful pass by Brandon Ingram, taking advantage of Sabonis, forcing Sabonis to guard him, and then finding the roll man. Now Sabonis escaping on Valanciunas. Hooks. He missed the same hook that Valanciunas made on the other end. Pell's trying to push it to double digits in transition. Ingram setting the screen. Wants to get it against Barnes. Ingram almost faked himself out. Now he gets to his right hand. Double team coming from Murray. Ingram gets it to Herb Jones. Trey Murphy, huge 3, and that is down.
11-point lead for New Orleans. 4:41, 40 to go. Kings are going to have to put on the accelerator here to get themselves back in.
Yeah, that missed layup from Sabonis was a killer. Did I say Sabonis right there?
You did. Shout out to one of the better jerseys we've ever seen.
Yeah, when I did this little montage on Instagram when I at game 1 of that first Kings playoff game since 2006 last year, and the best jersey I saw was Sabonis 69. Quite solid. Barnes is out now. Herder replacing him. Pocket pass. Sabonis took a little too long to get it to Murray, but Herb Jones called for a blocking foul as Murray tried to attack.
That is the 4th team foul on the New Orleans Pelicans, so I believe they will be shooting the rest of the way.
Sorry, John. I guess someone else is going to have to explain it to you in the comments. Good try, though. Fox going through Alvarado. I wonder if that'll actually get him a $2,000 fine after the game with a flop. Murphy into the lane on Sabonis. Left-handed pass. Murray was there, but he couldn't corral it. And 11 to shoot now for New Orleans.
We've seen a couple between this game and the last one of guys driving and trying to make the pass to the corner, and good recognition by the defender out there, understanding that's the only pass they can make.
Into Ingram, has the size advantage on Fox. Sabonis looking to come help. Ingram, they pulled the chair on him, but it goes right to Valanciunas. He blows the layup. Ingram fighting it up, and he's hacked from behind by Fox, and he'll have a chance to push it to a 13-point lead under 4 minutes.
And the Pelicans securing stronger control of this game during a stretch where Zion Williamson has not been on the floor.
Obvious foul there by Fox, a good one with him at point-blank range.
De'Aaron Fox up to 25 points in this contest, but it has taken him 21 field goal attempts and 12 free throws to get there. So that's less than a point per shooting possession.
Yeah, and I think what we said about this matchup, particularly the perimeter defense that New Orleans can throw at the Kings. And the Kings haven't shot it terribly from 3, but they needed a spectacular outcome there, it seems like. Fox, one-on-one against Murphy, goes for the step back, missed it. The other problem is Fox has been cold from 3 against these guys, too. He's been hot against everyone else. Jones on the drive. Steps around, fouled again.
Good confident drive from Herb Jones, and these free throws, I won't say they'll ice it, but they get you pretty damn close.
Yeah, I'm getting close to maybe going to eat the miso salmon that my wife made.
Oh, I in my brain I had you having a tea, but yeah, food makes sense too.
Yeah, no, the tea is after the podcast is over. I can't fully relax until after that.
But we are pretty close being able to fully relax in this. The New Orleans Pelicans very close to potentially punching their ticket to Las Vegas, and
Yeah,
there'd be
15-point game.
a fun addition to the group there, and I think they would have a significant chance, not like above 50%, to beat whoever comes out of the other side of the bracket, of the West bracket.
Fox, nice little same side up and under against Jones, but Pels are almost in no threes mode at this point. They're going to the press that worked against Golden State, and it's going to be a foul, I think, or maybe a timeout. Yeah, use it or lose it timeout here for Willie Green. I guess I was wrong about him using his discretionary timeout because he still has 2 left, and he still even has another one. They did get it across, though.
Yeah, he could choose it or lose it.
Fully healthy
Taylor
Pels,
Jenkins would.
Fully healthy Pels squad might be the deepest 1-12 in the league. Yeah, they might be. I mean, like Najee Marshall and even Jordan Hawkins has played some. He's not like a totally overmatched rotation guy. He's not even playing right now for them.
Yeah, when you consider that Larry Nance isn't even he's not even available right now, and they still have a pretty deep 1-10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Zeller is. I mean, I guess maybe they're the deepest in the sense that if you just add up number of guys who can play, but they don't necessarily have they don't have a competent backup center, right? Like that's Nance.
Well, they do. He's just He's just not healthy.
Yeah, I guess so. I have a fear that he might be on the downside.
I hope not, but you might be right. Well, and it's also the question of they could be the deepest 1-12, but that doesn't mean they're like the most talented 1-12. It just means that they're like 9 through 12 are better than I think any other team. I was trying to mental encyclopedia through the Oklahoma City Thunder and a few other teams.
I mean, the Warriors 1-12 is pretty damn good, actually.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, who's their 12th man? Like, if you want to just say the quality of 12th man, their 12th man might be Kevon Looney right now.
Oof. Yeah, because they've gotten guys like Moody and Podziemski and stuff have stepped up. My instinct is their 12 is probably somebody like Podziemski, but I'm not running through all that in my head right now.
Knicks bench is better. Yeah, I mean, they've got Hart. They've got Quickly. They've got Hartenstein. Who am I missing? That's probably about it. Oh, DiVincenzo. Yeah, maybe those 4 guys are better than the first 4 of the Pels, but then I don't think really the Knicks have anyone else that.
Deuce McBride can play.
Maybe he's never really been efficient in his limited minutes. Jericho Sims, of course, is. I mean, I think he's like a rotation worthy center who doesn't get any tick for them.
So what can the Kings do here? Like, what is their pathway to getting close? I'm not even saying to win, but to get close here before like a minute's left.
Turnovers. Go to this press and turnovers, and then scoring quickly, of course.
Quickly's playing tomorrow, Nate.
That's good. They get it into Murphy. They're trying to speed them up here with the press. Murphy, ooh, beautiful drop pass for Valanciunas. His left arm was kind of pinned, and he just throws it off the backboard. Maybe he thought he was going to get a foul. Murray looking for Monk. Good denial by Herb Jones on the weak side. Fox looking to step back. Good contest by CJ. Fox missing again. Herder on the glass. Back to Monk. He'll take it going right. Fading away, and it's down to 10. They'll go back to the press here, surely. One last gasp here from Sacramento, perhaps. They double team in the backcourt. 17, 16. Ooh, they barely got it across. But instead, it's a dunk.
And I don't love Brandon Ingram as the person making those decisions in the backcourt. He is not the. He has a lot of inertia.
Well, you can at least see over the trap. Monk moving without the ball. Oh, I thought he traveled.
How did he not
Now he's
travel
blocked
there?
from behind.
Eh.
Ingram gets it across. They go to the double team again. I do like Ingram because I think he can see to pass the ball over the trap. Sabonis calls for the double. Ingram tips it away from Herter. Weak side. Jones finds it. No, he walked first. So down 12, Sacramento was basically has got to get 4 straight threes here. Monk on the pop. Can that be one of them? Nope. And we're going to get a loose ball foul here in favor of Sacramento, but they are not yet in the bonus.
Oh, I think they are free throws.
Okay, the bonus indicator has always been poor on TNT.
John says, "Where's Jordan Poole to manage the clock when you need him?" I mean, Kyle Kuzma's got his strength there too.
Yeah, so it will be free throws for Sabonis. Apparently, he was held in the rebounding action. And gets the first free throw. This game is like so on the borderline of being able to turn it off.
Well, but it's because it's single elimination. It is the tournament. Like we'll survive it. But I'll let people know our plan is to do the same thing that we did today, where if the Eastern Conference game is close, we will do the end of that one, probably the fourth quarter or so, and then we will do the competitive portion of Lakers Suns. That is the intention.
Yeah, Sabonis, 26 points, 8 of 12, 10 of 10 from the line. He is actually +5. Jones, getting past his fellow number 5, goes in. Oh, and he just dunks it on the whole Kings team. And that is a great one to end it on here. 12-point game with a minute and a half left. New Orleans and their fans did he really just go get a 3-point play here, Danny?
Yeah, he did.
Fucked, man.
So to let people know, so the plan for tomorrow is the fourth quarter of Bucks Knicks if it's close, and then Suns Lakers. And then for those of you who want to join us on League Pass, we're doing a really fun one. It's going to be Magic at Cavs on Wednesday. That's a 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. We'll be doing that on League Pass.
Fox does have 30 points, although it's been a relatively ineffective game for him on offense. The turnovers really were a killer. Zion getting off the ball. Now they can kill clock. This is what they needed to do on this possession. They'll get a dunk here with Valanciunas. And now I think we can turn this off. So join us on Dunked On Prime later tonight. We'll wrap all this up.
Oh, I was hoping for another 3-point play.
No, you weren't.
No, it wasn't.
You just wanted to see my reaction. All right. My reaction is that I'm going to end this stream right now. Thanks for joining us.